At-sik-hata, Yamasee, Abdur, Kalu, Aswudhaya, Lo Bagun, Jaganun, Tua, El Kalu, Aswudhaya, Lo Bagun, Jaganun. Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Bagoon, Mahalas Bagoon, Mahalas, Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Mahalas Bagoon, Mahalas Bagoon, Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Kalu Aswudhaya, Lo Bagoon, Jaganun, Tua. Kalu Aswudhaya, Lo Bagun, Jaganun. Up you could do, 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 but you could do, up 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 you could do, but you could do. Kalu Aswudhaya, Lo Bagun, Jaganun, Tua, El Kalu Aswudhaya, Lo Bagun, Jaganun. Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Bagoon, Mahalas Bagoon, Mahalas, Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Mahalas Bagoon, Mahalas Bagoon, Talub look Mahalas Bagoon, Kalu Aswudhaya, Lo Bagun, Jaganun, Tua, El Kalu Aswudhaya, Lo Bagun, Jaganun. Up you could do, 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 but you could do, up 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 you could do, but you could do, up you. You could do up you could do up you could do up you could do as it is if I could lead Netta-rat but you was Hotel At-sik-hata Yamasee up you could do up you could do, 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 up you, up you.
Okay, and so I'm going to play the last part of the video here. 8 weeks in the equity positions of that because other assets are being sold by the market. So we've got to make some decisions. Are we putting more money in to what extent that money is in? And they said that we have to take the time, analyze where we are, and the people understand. The reason for the reason I just got off the table, he earns more money. And he doesn't think the government's acting properly or acting with a dollar. I think it's important that we start informing that we as to what really are the facts, what happened, and what inputs better for the organization. Maybe she has a better idea. You know, we have many geniuses in economics or finance anyway. We're representatives of the people. We have to take our time, but let the people know this is a very difficult struggle. Somebody is in the middle of the eradication without a aircraft, and we're trying to determine what's the best assurance and whether there's any chance in the world to sort that there. We don't know. All right, someone, I'll redo this again.
someone threw us in the middle of the Atlantic without a life raft, and we have to swim to shore, and we don't know which shore to swim to, and we don't know if we're going to make it. We simply don't know. So with that, why would all these Moors who are claiming they want freedom not want to work with me? Because that means they got nothing. Claims have value. Don't let anybody think, well, you just got paper. That don't mean anything. That's a claim, my man. When you have a county hit up for almost $500 million and they're going to close 12 strip clubs after you file a lien, yeah, you know something's up. Because that is what they do. So the SF-181 is connected to those mortgage-backed securities. It's connected to the collateralized debt obligations, term deposits, money market deposits, all over the planet. Once you do that, that's called what? Market correction, because now you cannot be traded as black, for lack of a better word. You're white, and so as such, that changes everything. And with the House Resolution 194, by them saying we acknowledge we robbed African Americans of their names and heritage, that allows you that, hey, we can set up our own economic system. We don't have to use this. But in order for that to occur, what has to happen? Their system has to tank, which it is now. And so this is what these guys who are claiming that they're not what they're doing. They're not talking about this. Everybody's doing commerce but don't want to talk about commerce. That's like you breathing air but don't want to acknowledge you're breathing air. Foolishness and stupidity. So I'm going to continue. Anybody? Okay, I can see Aaron, and of course I can't see you. Grey Wolf, I can see. I guess that's Ashira on the couch there. I could see. Oh, that's Grey Wolf. Okay, so I could see Grey Wolf. That's all that I can see right now. Everybody else that has a question, it's open because we're doing this. I'm putting links on Facebook as we're speaking, going back and forth. So anything, any question regarding primarily Moor Science Temple, Great Seal, and all that, because we got to shut these flunkies down here on Turtle Island. It's enough. They've done enough damage. I've seen 2 women get combined 25 years in jail because of these idiots.
Marco, this is Grey Wolf.
That's damage, and I'm doing my best here. And like I said, I'm not playing no games, and I'm not taking no favorites. They're doing too much damage, and they got to be called in.
Marco, can you hear me?
I can't hear Grey Wolf. I can't hear him.
Can you hear me, Grey?
Yeah, he's calling for you.
Well, y'all can hear me. I can't hear him. You can hear him. That is funny. Hold on, let me see here. He muted his microphone. Tell me he got to turn his microphone on. Because they're crossing the lines. So something about Grey Wolf and his lineage they don't like, because if you can hear, so Sa, why don't you translate? But there, just I can hear you. So go ahead. Sa, open the door, Sa, and tell me what Grey Wolf's saying, because I can't hear him at all.
Cool. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Go ahead, ask your question.
I'm just let's go now for that. Watch it talk for monkey.
See, when this type of stuff happens, that's how I know Taj and the rest of them guys is agents, willingly or unwillingly. Every time I go to bust them up, they got nothing to say. Okay, I got to show you all something here. Let's see here. Okay, that's the link for Moorish Americans cannot be Moroccans. Somebody just took a picture of me through the computer.
He's trying to tell me.
They keep bumping me off. They keep bumping me off.
They're bumping him off. Their sound, they're bumping him off.
Crown Prince Emperor El Bay. He's one of the big frauds in Trenton, New Jersey.
Chief, can you hear us?
Chief, can you hear me?
Marco, can you hear me?
No, I can't. Can everybody hear you?
Marco, this is Grey Wolf. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Tua.
I can hear all of y'all, but I can't.
Okay, Grey Wolf, I heard you say that the Crown Prince, what's his name?
He call himself Crown Prince Emperor El Bay.
Crown
Big Bay.
Prince Emperor El Bay out of New Jersey is a fraud.
Yes, Trenton.
Out
Trenton,
of
New
Trenton,
Jersey.
New Jersey.
He's been scamming people for a long time.
He's been scamming people for a long time. Yeah, I'm
He's
just,
with that Pamunkey. He called himself, he's in the organization of Washita Pamunkey.
he's in the Washita Pamunkey organization. Maybe I should bring my laptop downstairs. You want me to, Chief?
Huh?
You want me to bring my laptop downstairs?
Let's try, but if it causes feedback, then you're gonna have to go back. But let's make it. Let's not try. Let's do it. Let's attempt it. So this is for everybody to see. Oh, okay. Let me turn my volume down. Can you hear me? Yeah.
You have to turn that. You have to turn that.
Yours?
You're mute.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. Deep, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
See, we got this recorded. This is why we're telling people this is the real stuff. This is the other laptop right here.
Mm.
So you can't hear me on. So they're crossing lines, Grey Wolf, on the computer.
Yes.
So the Pamunkey. Okay, who is this dude here? This guy right here, Thig here El Bay. Who is this guy? Because he emailed Brian Kerrigan.
Oh, that's the young in this. He's trying to do some internet stuff for me, but he be doing a lot of crazy stuff. He ain't nobody. He's just one of the people that got scammed.
Okay. Because he said he was going to be in attendance, and he said, I'm the tech guy. You know, I may ask, you know, send me the details on where it will be held. So I didn't care. I sent it to him, but I don't know. So that's because he emailed, and I forwarded that to you because I don't know who. But he gave me his number. I did call and speak with him.
He get off like that. It's nothing to him. He's don't listen to that. That's as his mind goes and comes.
Okay, well this is what I'm talking about. That's why I want to know who. That's why we do this, so everybody walks in the light of the sun. When people want information but I can't see their face, I don't trust them.
Yes.
Because I'm out here I'm in the land of the red dots. You come in here, this is land of the red dots. This is the real tank with the barracuda, sharks, killer whales up in here.
Yes.
This is how we roll. So if you don't like this, get the hell off of here. Because if we find out, we're going to do you.
We're going to do them. We're going to do them all.
We go to the ancestors. We don't play. We do not play.
Hey.
So that's good to know. Any other, any question, Ann? Are you there? Can you hear me? Oh, I think her sound's not working. Okay. So that's it. Anything else, Grey Wolf? You wanted to say that? Any questions you?
Yes, about maybe this is not the right time to ask it, but like I need you to send me the link for the gold book.
Oh no, now it's the right time. Now.
Temt-Ta, Hassa fi paren shilpa Temt-Ta, Anuki Kull fi istat bas shilpa Temt-Ta, Wakul istat bas shilpa Temt-Ta kalun korna, Hassa Anuki wah kor pa Temt-Ta, Wa hassa pa Temt-Ta kalun wah korna, Hassa Anuki Kull dik nuk ahtigu kor pa Temt-Ta, Wa hassa nuk ahtigu kalun li kawun kor pa Temt-Ta, hassa inen atha najuhmul kor pa Temt-Ta, wa hassa pa Temt-Ta kalun najuhmul korna, hassa inen atha daiman kor pa Temt-Ta, wa hassa pa Temt-Ta kalun daiman korna, hassa pa Temt-Ta kalun inen atha, hassa pa Temt-Ta yakul inen aikilua, hassa pa Temt-Ta dura inen admilua amun. Now in the name of the all, now I am in the consideration of the all, and now all consideration is with me. Now I am one with the all, and now the all is one with I. Now I am all I need with the all, and now I need is for being with the all. Now I am successful with the all, and now the all is successful with I. Now I am always with the all, and now the all is always with I. Now the all is, I am. Now the all can, I can. Now the all does, we do. Amun. Greetings. Welcome everyone to my open Q&A as Plenipotentiary of the planet called Earth. This is my, on the Gregorian calendar, every 30 days on the Gregorian calendar, open Q&A. So for those of you that have not been on before, this is your opportunity to ask any questions you have. For those of you that have been on before, this is the opportunity to have this intimate one-on-one conversation out in the open, so there's no confusion about what it is that I'm teaching. With that, please put your question either in the chat or click on the reactions button. And the reactions button, there's a raise hand feature, and you click raise hand and we can get started. And rule number one, you got to keep your microphone on unless you have a technical problem. Anu, go ahead.
Rawat Maku.
Rawat.
Rawat. Ila Antutin. At-sik-hata Maku, yeah, what's going on with my screen? Oh, hold up. That's weird. Anyway, Maku, I wanted to read the definition, Maku, and then I wanted to ask you a question regarding that definition, okay?
And the definition of, because not everybody knows what it is you're making reference to.
So the definition is of a security.
Go ahead.
Okay, so in Black Law Dictionary, a security indicates an interest based on an investment in a common enterprise rather than direct participation in the enterprise. Under an important statutory definition, a security is any interest or instrument relating to finances, including a note, stock, treasury stock, bond, debenture, evidence of indebtedness, certificate of interest, or participation in a nonprofit sharing agreement, collateral trust certificate, pre-organization certificate or subscription, transferable share, investment contract, voting trust certificate, certificate of deposit for a security, fractional undivided interest in oil, gas, or other mineral rights, or certificate of interest or participation in rights or certificate, or excuse me, temporary or interim certificate for, receipt for, guarantee of, or warrant or right to subscribe to purchase any of these things. That's just a little bit of a definition of a security. But the question I wanted to ask you, Maku, with all the fraud that we've been dealing with, and you've always told us that there's so much fraud in the system that there's thousands of times more remedy because of the amount of fraud that's in the system. Would it be fair game to say that all of the debtors, all of the all caps names or SEDECI that are in circulation across the United States are securities, being that they're utilizing the collective credit of those securities to do things like wage wars, to do things like create illegal contracts, such as the mortgages and things like phone bills and stuff like that. Would it be safe to say that all of the debtors in society are securities?
Yes.
Okay.
And
All
so
right.
this is where the subject of birth certificate registration of live birth comes into play, because they said, this is your birth certificate. No, that's a security. It even says it, if you look closely, that it's on security paper. That means for somebody, it is an asset. You're holding receipt of trafficking in human cargo. And the rule is, under contract by joinder, if there was any fraud done with that, and as per the canons on positive law, 2057, 2058, you must, once the beneficiary comes forward, they must close the Saamus trust.
Yeah.
They must do that. And if the administrator, whoever you throw it at their feet, you got to do this, and they don't, they're supposed to be removed and immediately and punished, because that's jeopardizing the whole system. So this is the reason why simultaneously while we're doing this, I'm also going higher up into the realm of, to the point where we've had to go to the Black Pope and the Gray Pope.
Well.
And so this is why it's hard for people who are Black to understand the fact that it's trafficking in human cargo. They think they're real. So the paper is an illusion. They identify with the paper, which is an illusion. Therefore, by default, they become the illusion. And so when someone tells them, no, you got to get your remedy, you have to claim the word white. That's the highest form. It means purity. So when they don't want to claim white, what they're saying is they prefer to stay the debtor. And by default, therefore, they're an illusion.
Non-existent.
Non-existent. And then thanks to Sabrina Wallace, with the body area network, with the biosensors that they can send from the 5G towers in the body, they could scan the person from a satellite and know what is this person's resonance frequency about. That's because they want to get into the body and monitor the body, the health. How's your heart pulsing? How's your blood pressure? You know, how's your palpitations? How's your beats per minute? How's your liver? That's what they want to track. So when they see that, and people give the facade that they are conscious, they're gonna know and scan the person and say, oh yeah, this is what we have. They're not really. This is the resonant frequency of somebody who does meditation, of somebody who does spiritual work. This is what their frequency is. This is what their body is resonating at. Or if we see it's fluctuating, that means the person is starting to break out of the lower resonance sound cycle, energy cycle, into a higher energy cycle, so they can see that person is now elevating. They'll see that before that person even sets foot in any kind of a venue. And so this is something to tell Black people who watch this replay: you're not going to fool the Amorites. You're definitely not going to fool the computer, because it's studying everybody through social networking. And people are stupid, so to speak, when they put their information on the internet like it's entertainment. That's the favorite word they love to use in all these videos. This is for entertainment purposes. Knowing what this the etymology of entertain means, then that becomes a data set. And then all they have to do is scan the person's body. Has their resonance changed from yesterday to today? No. Has it changed from yesterday to a week ago? No. Has it changed from yesterday to a month ago? No. Has it changed from 3 months? No. 6, 9, a year, 2 years. They're like, okay, now what is their resonance tomorrow? And then as they start comparing, if they see there's no change, they're like, oh, okay, this person is saying all these words as a shield to hide behind. But we, meaning we, and I'm defining we in this conversation as the computer intelligence, we already know this person is not on this resonance. Fuck with them.
Sure. So and another question is, being that all the debtors are securities, then all of the fraud is securities fraud, then, correct?
All of the fraud is trafficking in human cargo, genocide. There's an international convention, or they call it, when they call racketeering, collusion, and what they're also doing is what's called living off the avails. That's what they arrest pimps for living off the avails. Yet the government is doing the same thing the pimps are doing.
Sure. All right, Maku.
All right, Kashikadur.
Kashikadur.
All right, okay, let's go, people. I will stare back at you for an hour and then call it a night.
Where is
I'm checking the chat here. All right, greetings, Kuyani. All right, much appreciated. Don't worry about the audio as long as you can hear us. All right, fabuloso. Oh, can everyone put in the chat if they still want me to do monthly open Q&As? Please put in the chat. Okay, so Anu Tua, Dapa Tua, Ankit Tua, Dikembe, yes. Nuti and Onife Tua, Satebara Tua, Kuyani Tua, Aferti Tua. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what we got here. Somebody just kicked in. Kalina Grimes, yes. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mazum Tua. Okay, Count Sachet, great. Yes, Tua, Satepama, Aferti. All right. So all of you all want me to continue. So all of you all who are named have chosen yourselves. Harris, Tua, great. Remember, many are called, few are chosen, and the chosen choose themselves. Harris, okay. All right. So now, with those of you that said Tua, I'm going to give you all not so much of a secret. However, this is a way whereby you have to start learning how to ask questions. Sometimes the most simplest question can be the most difficult question to answer for an answer. And look at the obvious. Don't try to find a very complex question as it pertains to what I'm teaching. You all should ask the simplistic on areas that you do not comprehend. So the areas that you all do not comprehend, those are the areas that you should be asking. You cannot ignore what's happening with the change, with the advent of the computers, with the computer intelligence running everything. That is inevitable. Until they start sending shams down, people start getting kidnapped and going on to the shams back to the mothership to Nibiru, you can forget about it. You got to deal with this. How are you going to function when they want to start automating everything to the point? California has got, you don't even have to go into DMV anymore. They put all the titles on the blockchain. That's the big news that came out in the past 7 days. So any remedy, recourse, you're not going to be able to do that. There was a video that I saw, a black guy, I shared it. He won at a casino. He won $500,000. He came there with his duffel bag to collect. The casino wouldn't give him the $500,000. And so I said, really? So he had somebody recording him saying, see, this is what happens. When you lose small, they don't care. When you win big, they don't want to pay you out. And this was at Caesar's palace. So the guy said, you put my picture on your Instagram account, winner of the 500,000. He goes there to collect, and they say, we're not paying him out. Why? Because black has no standing at law. Not what I say, what their boy, Barry Toro, known as AKA Barack Hussein Obama, right here on the Tom Jordan Morning Show. So this is for the benefit of those who will see the replay, and for those who just came in. Barack Obama on October 16, 2012 at 12:18 p.m. stated, he said it, not me, this on Black in Public. They still ain't figured it out. Black in public is black and stupid. He said it, not me. So Tom Joyner interviews President Barack Obama on his Tom Joyner Morning Show and greets him by saying it's our first black president of the United States. President Obama replies, Tom, I don't look at myself as the first black president because the word black, which means pale, has no standing at law. So people, please keep that in mind. No problems for people of African descent, Afro-Caribbean, Africans of the diaspora, the mainland Africa are not going to get remedy now into the future without accepting the fact they have to stop calling themselves black in English. Anu, go ahead.
Marco, in training, you taught us about the one of the aspects of the relationship between the Jewish people and the Egyptians, and that was the Deuteronomy that we went over.
Mm-hmm.
What other significant aspects of that relationship can you share between the Egyptians and the Jews?
Okay, why did God choose Moses to live amongst the Egyptians for 40 years?
Probably because the Egyptians taught them.
The Egyptians taught who?
They taught the Amorites.
The Egyptians were going based on what your question is.
Mm-hmm.
Israel say they're God's chosen people. These Jebusites, these Ashkenazim, which are Russian converts.
Mm-hmm.
But their prophet was raised up amongst Egyptians for 40 years. Why did God do that? Why didn't God just have him to go to some poor family that was in bondage and raise up that way? Instead, the Most High, according to them, allowed Moses, who was in the water, to be taken out of the water by one of the Pharaoh's wives and brought into and lived amongst the Pharaohs and the Egyptians for 40 years. See, they don't talk about Egypt, yet they're saying there's an Exodus. Notice, these rabbis talk more about the Holocaust back in World War II than they do about the Exodus. Why don't they talk about the Exodus? Because there's nothing in Egypt about any mass slaves leaving. What it was they flipped it when the Egyptians chased the Heka Chasut, the Hyksos, across the hot burning sands of the desert out of Egypt.
And is that what it's referring to when it says you were a stranger once in that land?
Yes.
Okay.
So now why would God, after all the suffering the Israelites went under the Egyptians, say no descendant of Egyptians shall be excluded from the congregation of the Most High after the third generation? And remember, Moses never went into the Holy Land. Moses never made it to the Holy Land. He had to pass the leadership over to Joshua. Moses, where the Holy Land was, Moses got to look at it, but he didn't get to go into the Promised Land. So those are the questions. Why would God have Moses go through all this, get his people out, right? They're the ones that was the rebellious ones. Because after they got out of bondage, what did they do? They worshipped the golden calf.
Mhm.
And if you watch the 10 Commandments that was done by Hollywood, you see they fashioned a golden calf and then they what? Worshipped it. Bowed. Moses was up in the mount getting the tablets from the Most High. When he came down, he went to his brother Aaron, like, what are you doing? Well, they wanted an idol to worship and they told me to worship it. And they said, if I do not, they would kill me. So he fashioned them an idol. Why couldn't God stop that? I thought God is all powerful, right?
Mm.
So why didn't God stop that? Is everybody overstanding? I'm teaching you all. You have to ask questions of things you do not understand. Don't ask questions to hear about high level, oh, this sounds deep, about the stars and constellations and portals. If you don't comprehend the answer, there's no point asking the question unless you really plan on going into further research on the answer. Ask what you do not know. Ask what you do not comprehend. Ask what you cannot decipher or you are unclear about. Because the more people delay in doing that, they stunt their development. This is experience talking to everybody. But because I kind of look young, people think I don't have no experience, that I haven't had any life experiences. Then when I start describing stuff that's happening in their world, how did you know? I said, because I've experienced that. What did they say? Experience is what? The greatest teacher?
Mhm.
So people who are not white, learning to be white, don't have the experience of defending white. And so they need assistance on how to defend white. Amorites take everything from these so-called Nubians or these black people, these so-called black people. They take their creations, they take their ideas, they take their music, they take everything from them. Because why? Black has no standing at law. They don't have to take them serious. They don't have to consider their feelings. They don't have to consider nothing. So this is the reason why when people want to change their race and ethnicity, become white, claim their indigenous heritage, prove they're not lost at sea, they have to fulfill the obligations and the requirements constantly of being white. Can't straddle the fence, can't serve two masters. No. Which side are you on? Are you on the side of white? Or are you on the side of black? It is that simple. And this is based on what the definitions are. Black is Old English, it means pale. White is a person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa. There's no splitting hairs on that. Is one route or the other.
Sure.
All right.
All right.
Much appreciated. Kuyani, question. What are your thoughts on the Divine Nine and Kamala Harris? Boulay, what's interesting with Kamala Harris, Kuyani, is that now black people are starting to wake up to realize she's claiming Indian. Yes, she has both heritages, but she's not claiming black or African American as her primary. She's claiming Indian as her primary. Plus, I saw the old video where they said she was the first Indian American senator, or they said Indian senator, and that's dots, as they say, not feathers. So that's coming out. Trump is putting the stuff out, and they're seeing that, yes, and it's amazing. Black women are stupid, straight up. Stupid, dumb, foolish, emotional, meaning energy in motion, right? And they'll rally around her knowing full well she is not African American, she's not black,
She's not person of color. She's not 9 ether. She's none of that. Why? Because they're like, oh, we got to stop Trump. He's going to do this. Everything that they're accusing Trump of, your sociopaths are the Democratic Party. Everything they're accusing Donald Trump of is what they are going to do should she get elected. And the fact is, she ain't been running for president. How does she now become vice president? All of a sudden, she's ahead of Trump in the polls. That's a lie. If she raised like, what, $20 million in a day or whatever, but Trump did something like $100 and something million. Right? And then, of course, after he got shot and survived it, his donations went up even more. How on earth, if we just look at the monetary contributions and donations that Trump has got for his campaign, we see that how could she possibly be ahead of him in the polls, but he's raising more money? You see who spoke with him. You got to see the setup. The prime minister of Netanyahu came over, addressed Congress, lied to Congress. After he was done with Congress, what did he do? He went and met with Trump at Mar-a-Lago. Time out. Time out. The sitting president is Joe Biden. Met with them, met with Congress, obviously, because he was in Washington. Right after he speaks with Congress, he goes down to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Donald Trump. Does anybody find that suspicious? Now, shouldn't Netanyahu stay out of the politics because he's got his own problems, because the UN Human Rights Council declared Israel guilty of genocide? So why? Is it that Netanyahu knows the ones that can get him off will be Trump? So he going to Trump to put his cards in, because remember, the United States is not on the International Criminal Court Council. They were, but when they realized they couldn't control it, they took themselves off. And remember, when Trump was in office, he said, oh, we're not going to honor anything coming out of the International Criminal Court. We're not going to abide by none of that. So Bibi, as they like to call him, is in the same position now. So who do you think he's going to align with? Trump. Because Trump, when he was president, that's what he said. So Kamala, the Divine Nine, the Boule. I can't find it. I had it. I'm going to find it. If somebody can find it, please repost it. They had arrested 3 police officers in Oregon or Seattle, whatever, who said they were part of a 3,000-year-old police fraternity. And one of them outed that, and he died mysteriously. Because I said, what do you mean a 3,000-year-old fraternal police order that these black police belong to? So you have generations of Boule, aka the 9 Eyes, that are constantly getting in those positions to do what? Keep black people suppressed. The Boule and the 9 Eyes, they are the 9 Eyes, the Boule are the sphinxes, as talking about in old lore. So the job with the Sphinx was to give the person, riddle me this, riddle me that, and give the person 3 questions. If they could not answer the 3 questions, the Sphinx would kill them. However, if the person was able to answer all the questions from the Sphinx, then the Sphinx would have to commit suicide, which is what happened to one of those police officers. Said they belonged to a black fraternal police order that's 3,000 years old. Never heard of it, but they revealed that because they were guilty of something they were doing. And what happened was that guy killed himself. Said, yeah, he had to fall on his, on his sword. So he committed suicide or something. But so that is the reason why when you see politics, black people, you need to get contracts from these people in writing. They can't, where we're up at an election, I think it was last year or the year before, and they came by with the NDP party, and I was like, okay, well, can I find what it is they're campaigning on? And they say, well, if I get elected, she promised to do that. I said, I need that in writing. And the campaigner volunteer didn't really have a response. Like, well, if you go on the website, you can see what they're about. Said, no, I want that in writing. They will tell you if you go into a business venture and you have no signature, they'll say there's no contract. They'll say they didn't sign anything. Now, if you thumbs up, that's equivalent to a signature. You use a thumbs up emoji in a text or whatever, that's considered a signature. If the person stays silent upon receiving a text, and they know everyone who gets text messages, that is the equivalent to what? Tacit consent and agreement. Day late, dollar short. So these are the principles of contract that these black Vule are following. These black fraternities are following. So you have an integrated, very well-oiled slavery system whereby you have slaves keeping other slaves down, and in exchange for that, they get what? They get a beautiful life. They'll get protection, provided they don't put the system at risk or put massa at risk. Let's see here. I'm gonna see if, oh, it's not in here. Okay, I gotta find it in this email. There's an email about a fund, a donor for what's her name, Hillary Clinton, and they caught the guy background talking. He said, "Black people are fucked in the head. You voting for the enemy." This is what he said. And he said, "Black people, you vote for the enemy." He said, "Black people are seriously fucked in the head," and that's it. I dare say mental cases. And I say that very gingerly. However, this is what we're looking at because black people have been damaged. I'm just waiting. Okay, let's see if this opens up now. I've been having problems with opening up my emails on Firefox. Okay, so I have to put Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton. Okay, let me try this one. There we go. Here it is. A Jew tells the truth. So this is might be a refresher for you, and for people who haven't seen it, this will be something that you've seen. You'll enjoy. This is perfect. Great question, Kuyani.
Yes. Jewish guards that help murder Jews in camp so they can live alone. So they're even Jews who were helping the Nazis murder Jews.
So here we go. Oh, hold on. It said so blacks. This is Benjamin. He's a major contributor to Hillary Clinton. Benjamin Barber, major Democratic donor. Everyone can see that. So blacks who are helping the other side are seriously fucked in the head. Point blank. Was there outcry? Did they protest this guy? Did they put his name out? Did they try to get him canceled or shamed? Nope. Because he's what? Donating to Hillary Clinton's campaign. They're only helping the enemy who want to destroy them. Maybe thinking that if I help them, maybe it'll be different. Maybe I'd get off okay. Somehow I'd save my race by working for the murderers. This is the contract, Kuyani, that black people subconsciously are following, but they like to act like they're not, that they're trying to get freedom.
Okay, somehow I saved my race by working for the
Wow. So that's what they think of us.
They showed this is to a group of preachers. So they showed this to a group of preachers who are all Democrats.
So blacks who are sort of helping the other side, they're equally fucking.
The blacks who help the other side are seriously fucked in the head. They're only helping the enemy who want to destroy them. Maybe thinking that if I help them, maybe it'll be different. Maybe I'd get off okay. Somehow I'd save my race by working for the murderers.
Maybe you know, get off okay, somehow I save my race by working for the murderers.
I consider it an insult to have to see those accusations and to hear that type of discussion is insulting to me.
No, see, and you know she's Boulay. You know right off the top, I find that an insult of these accusations. They ain't no accusations. All you have to do is watch that record from Public Enemy. It takes a nation of millions to hold us back. You have to read in between the lines. It takes a nation of 1 million blacks to hold other blacks back. Amorites don't outnumber you, black people. So they need to have black people to oversee on the plantation.
Me as an African American.
Deborah Ross should be called.
And she's trying to sound intelligent as an African American. Which country in Africa? Can't answer. So she don't know nothing. That's the blind. Here's another blind one, Bishop Wooden.
For something. I agree. The Democrat Party takes the African American vote for granted. They don't offer us anything. So blacks who are sort of helping the other side, they're equally fucking.
To see those accusations and to hear that type of discussion is insulting to me as an African American.
That because we don't have ID, just won't vote, that makes absolutely no sense.
Republicans know African Americans are less likely to have the ID, so they don't vote.
So that's what they think of us.
It's why people hate politics. People go to Washington and are just in it for themselves.
Deborah Ross is a Democrat running for the Senate from North Carolina. We met her and some of her donors at a fundraising event on the Upper West Side of New York City, September 19th.
What's the deal with the Republicans with the voter ID? I don't understand why they keep fighting.
Republicans know that young people, African Americans and women are less likely to have the ID, so they don't vote.
So they make it hard for them to...
Yes. It's Jim Crow. Just put the roadblock.
Ms. Ross says she wants to support the African American voter. But when we started talking with two of her supporters and donors, we heard comments about black voters that absolutely floored us.
So it's like they're voting against their self-interest.
Yes, absolutely.
Even if you had like a black Republican or somebody, it's like voting. It
doesn't make sense. You're voting against yourself.
Like, I mean, I'm sure.
In the name of change.
I'm sure someone like Ben Carson is a nice guy. I'm sure he is. He may be not a fundamentalist, but maybe a nice guy. But it's like you're going with a party that wants to oppress you.
Yeah.
I can't wrap my.
They don't believe in climate change. They don't believe, in social justice and human rights.
Our journalist was speaking with Leah and Benjamin Barber. Mr. Barber is a well-known political theorist and author. And he is a major donor to Democrats, and specifically to Hillary Clinton.
But you think, like, as like a black man, you think that they would Oh, it depends on, yes.
So, Sonderkommando is a noun. In World War II Nazi concentration camps, a group of prisoners assigned to collect belongings and dispose of the bodies of other prisoners who had died or been killed. And those were Jews. So there was Jews killing Jews.
Yes.
Jewish guards that help murder Jews in the camp so they can live alone. So they were even Jews who were helping the Nazis murder Jews.
Same thing.
So blacks who
So there are Jews in the Second World War, helping kill other Jews just so they could live a little longer. So blacks who are helping the other side are seriously fucked in the head. Only helping the enemy who want to destroy them. Maybe thinking that if I help them, maybe it'll be different. Maybe I'd get off okay. Somehow I'd save my race by working for the murderers. So he's saying that's illogical. That's complete stupidity. That's madness.
We thought it was important to share Mr. Barber's comments with African American Republicans in North Carolina.
Thoughts on that?
Wow. So that's what they think of us.
Now, why he acting like he ain't heard this for the first time in his life? That's what they think of us. Look at the gray hairs on his chin. He been around. He said, "Oh, so this is what they're saying behind closed door." That would be more realistic. Oh, that's what they think of us. Like he didn't know. Because he's one of them. He's working for them. That's why. And now he's trying to figure out how does he justify that being a Christian, being into politics when the people you're at are going to not help you. He doesn't have that. How does he explain that to his congregation? This is what they're saying behind closed doors. Hillary Clinton, major campaign contribution, is saying that. So if he's saying it, Hillary's down with that. That means she's playing an act with black people in public. Not only the Democrats, also the Republicans.
Speechless for the most part. It's wrong. It's an eye-opener. But that's what happens when we, as blacks, vote a majority just for one party.
So as an African-American voter, do you feel like that you would be a traitor to your own race
Absolutely
if you were to vote for a conservative Republican candidate?
Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, I think I'm benefiting my race by voting against the Democrat Party. Takes the African American vote for granted. They don't offer us anything.
I think that Deborah Ross have shown her true colors.
Yeah.
Now, if this is not, if what you just showed me is not racism and condescending and basically calling blacks stupid and ignorant and saying that we're voting against our own self-interest, if we support any Republican, I am appalled, I am incensed, and Deborah Ross should be called to task for something like that.
I'm very disappointed in her. I consider it an insult to see those accusations and to hear that type of discussion is insulting to me as an African American.
It's not only dark money, it's racist and evil money filled with venom. There's obviously an agenda there. And you can look in his eyes in the video. You can see there's a rage there, and there's a deep-seated resentment towards African. This is unbelievable. I cannot believe that such a thing was said about minorities.
Thoughts on that?
Wow. I mean, that is horrific. I mean, to even allow those words to come out of your mouth concerning us as African American folk, to think that we are voting for someone and referencing that to the Jews with the Nazis, I am appalled by that comment.
Yeah.
I have no respect for Ms. Ross and allowing him to be in her corner. And I believe that if he said those things, she in some way shared the same values.
I don't believe that African Americans should support it.
Well, I think that she should give the money back.
Bishop Wooden says that Deborah Ross should be taken to task about Mr. Barber's comments. We wonder, will Deborah Ross and Hillary Clinton's campaign ignore this video, or will they renounce the comments and return the money? Why don't you ask them?
And see, John Podesta right here, who's her chair, who was dealing with Maria Abramovich, who's a known spirit cooker, and doing rituals, bathing in blood, all sorts of stuff. It's all up in here. This is an old video. This video's got at least 5 years old. So your question, Kuyani, this is what we're talking about. Make no difference, Republican, Democrat. Are they going to get what you want? If they don't, what happens when they don't honor? So that means you have to change your political strategy, if you will. Greetings. Greetings.
Yeah, greetings, Chief. Just checking out and seeing the link.
So you don't have the link? Check your spam. And what I will do is I will send it to you on Telegram. No, Telegram. Yeah.
All right.
Just give me 1 second here. I'm just trying to copy it. Why won't it let me copy? Okay, there we go. What's your handle on Telegram?
Babaton should be
Yeah, just send me a message because it's not searching for you. It's not coming up. And I know I've sent you messages before in the past.
all right, so I just sent something here from Telegram.
Hold on a second here. Hold on, everyone. Let's see here. Oh, it's okay. I have you under Tafari. That's why. All right, so you have it now. See you shortly.
All right. Did you get a call from Anne-Marie?
Yes, Anne-Marie called.
All right, excellent.
I spoke with her. Yeah, she called. The email was sent out.
All right.
All right.
Much appreciated.
Kashikadur. All right. So, where are we at here? Here we go again. Phone call just disappears. Okay, there we go. All right. So, as I was saying, back in, you see Hillary Clinton here, John Podesta, all of that stuff coming out, connected to Jeffrey Epstein. So while we're on that subject, let me see here. Let's see this on x.com. I'm going to find, there's the video I saw on x.com by a police officer who was also a Mason. And he gave something very revealing. I want to play this. I'll play about 5 minutes or so. We're going to go back and forth in between it because it's long. I don't want to hold people up with their questions. But I do want to make certain, there we go, that people hear this, because when you hear from a police officer, that just changes the whole scenario. Here we go.
All right, brother. You said that you had also Masonic, right?
Well, my career in law enforcement, I actually joined the Brotherhood of Freemasons.
Okay. Yeah, how'd you get into that?
Man, a lot of cops are involved with that.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's a thing that I'm not saying you must do, but 95% of them do. You know what I mean?
Now, what's the benefit out of it? Like, what's the main purpose? If
actually,
95...
for me, if you're going to ask me the question, I think it was more like biblical history.
Oh, okay.
What intrigued me the most was they talked about King Solomon's temple and the Holy of Holies, and I've always been intrigued by it.
So this actually exists?
Yes, it does. It's the occult. It's nothing to be messing with.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you straight up.
All right.
There's 3 phases. The first phase is enter apprentice.
Okay.
Even before you get to that phase,
you got to be pretty much spoke about.
Okay.
You know, to be one, you have to ask one. So one of my supervisors, he was a lieutenant, pretty much came up to me and asked me, hey, you want to join a club? And I'm like, what kind of club is it? You know what I mean? Right. Well, it's the Freemasons. I did my background, you know, on them and did my research, and I've seen a lot of positive things that, you know, that came out of doing the research. You know, a lot of them donate money to cancer victims and children with cancer, and you know, Shriners, they have their own hospital and so forth, you know, and, you know, I was in a position where I'm working with juvenile offenders. Well, why not? Why not do something in the outside? You know what I mean? So my lieutenant spoke for me and two other of my fellow brothers in blue, and they petitioned. We petitioned for a spot in the Brotherhood, and filled out applications, and they did a background. They do a background on you, see if you're good standing, or else they won't take you. Wow. What they do is they take men to make them better. That's what they say. But only God could do that. Right. You know, no club could do that for you. That's right. You know, so right around 2006, I'm on my fourth or fifth year on the job. You know, I petitioned. It all went pretty good, and you know, they do a house interview. Okay. So I had, like 20, 30 people come to my house, and they spoke to my wife, because they speak to the females first. Wow. I didn't know why, but they usually do that because you're not going to be around as much when you go into meetings, or you got to do, take time off to do, work as far as donating, getting money for donations and, and so forth. So I didn't see that quite a bit, as far as going out there, doing any that type of work first, because you have to go through rituals first. Mm-hmm. The first phase is the enter apprentice phase. That's phase one, and you do your rituals. They take you in and they tie a toe to your ankle, made of tie a toe. A toe, yeah, ankle toe. They call it the ankle toe, and it's made out of what do you call it? It's like a harness. It's like a tie. They tie it around your leg, and they raise your pants leg up, and you're there in a suit. And then you go around, you're blindfolded, so you can't really see the actual temple. It's a temple. You got Joaquin and Boaz on one side, the two towers, which is the two pillars of the Freemasons.
This is like big time.
Oh, it's a ritual.
This is like sacred stuff, right?
Yeah. But see, the way they cookie cut it is that they only get the ones that are like, I would say the ones that are really interested and the ones that are clean cut. Right. All right. And I'm going to add the devil to this too. Okay. Because when you're in the world, you're of the devil. You're father of the devil, right? Right. When you don't have God on your mind at all times, from when you wake up in the morning to when you go to sleep at night, you're of your father the devil. Mm-hmm. And I'm just going to say it like that, but I'm going to be bold and honest, Right. I was in the right state of mind then, I had some marital problems, so I felt like this was an outlet for me to get out and have fellowship with other brothers.
Right, because you wasn't getting that with the churches.
I wasn't getting that with the churches back home because, they were preaching prosperity. Right. Okay. Give me $1, God gives you 1,000, and God doesn't work that way, man. You got to work you got to work to eat, so... Yeah. Nah, don't wait for a handout.
So how long did the first phase last?
What they do is they bring you into the temple, and they have the secretary, which is a male. We're all males. There's no female Masons here. I know in Europe, I think they do, not here. Unless you're an Eastern Star, that's different. Okay. But the Freemasons, you got the Blue Lodge, which is composed of all different nationalities and backgrounds of Masons, right, to include different religious sets. Hindu, Muslim, whatever. You could be atheist, they don't care. You could be Satan. You could be a devil worshiper. Wow. And they'll bring a devil worshiping Bible right there, satanic Bible, so you could you take the oath. Yeah, they don't care. See, I didn't know that until I started doing more homework on it. What did I get myself into? But
did you ever get that far?
Oh yeah, I became a Master Mason. Okay. The highest you go is 33rd, but even at 32nd, from the ranks of 30th to 33, which is 3. That's when they divulge the actual truth to you.
I got you.
Which they have you in darkness all those years, And then once you start climbing up the rituals and the phases, and you go up the ranks or degrees, we call it, you could go from the 3rd degree to the 32nd degree in a weekend.
Wow.
Oh yeah, you can do it in 2 days. They call that the fast track. But usually to get that high, it takes years. Wow. It takes years, but you can do it the other way. You got to pay some money or talk to whoever.
I heard that some people, if I might be mistaken, but I know some of these rich people, these Hollywood people, they give land, millions of dollars.
Oh yeah, yeah. It all depends because those are called dues, right?
Okay.
And you talking about occultic, satanic individuals that work in Hollywood, reverence, of money, of people of power. I didn't know all that. Because when you got scales in your eyes, you can only see so much.
Right.
But when God removes those blinds off your eyes, you start seeing who's who for what they are.
Wow.
And not every Masonic lodge. I mean, they all talk about the same, but everybody's different. Because in order for you to be a Shriner, you got to be a Mason. For you to be a Knights Templar, you got to be a Mason. And the more you go up in that pyramid, and the highest you could go is a Rothschild.
Right.
They're the highest of the highest.
Really?
Yeah, they're the satanic children of Satan.
Wow.
They actually sit on the table and they have a special chair for Satan right there. And he comes and talks to these family members, and they're the ones the shaken and bakers, I call it.
Now, this all has to do also with those people who go out into the wood and they burn that wooden owl and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about the Illuminati.
Illuminati, okay.
Right.
This has to do with those
Oh,
people?
yeah, you have to be a Freemason to be there. All the presidents were Freemasons.
Okay.
A small portion weren't, but they were Jesuits. It's just the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, even the Pope. They don't. I'm going to be honest. They don't actually have to do the whole ritual. They have to watch.
Right.
And because of their power and rank within the church,
but it's still controlled by.
Everything is controlled by the white and black Pope.
Yeah.
So black and white, which is white and black tiles, is where we have our temple.
That's where you get that.
Yeah, the yin yang. The
Right.
good versus evil. You got to have one of the balance. And that's the work of the devil. God doesn't work that way. He doesn't manifest that way. That's all the trick of the devil. The devil knows the Bible better than me and you put together.
Right.
Because he was there when God was putting it together.
Mm-hmm.
And of course he fell. Of course, but he knows.
Yeah.
He could twist the word of God and make it so clean like honey in your mouth. And say, well, this guy is a man of God. But no, you got to go beyond that, honey.
Right.
You got to go around it and do your research. Because they're going to give themselves up. You know what I mean? A lot of these guys and women, men and women that work in Hollywood, they're all Satanists.
I bet.
All of them are Satanists. And you know what? Anybody could tell me different. I really don't care because I know. Certain hand signs that you do, the pyramid, the rock, Jay-Z calls this the rock. It's a pyramid.
Right.
All right? But in that pyramid, there's 13.
Right. You also got the... What was this?
That's the horns of the devil.
Right.
The devil's horns. Yeah. And, that's Illuminati. You could use it for the Shriners use it too.
Right.
That's the Moloch.
Okay.
Moloch is the actual owl that they worship out in California. All these big shots, big corporations, they go there, and that's where they make the presidents too.
Really?
They make presidents there. They know which president they're going to make. They make them. All this political stuff.
Right.
That's just BS. That's bullshit.
Why?
That is bullshit. That is the most deceiving thing in America. They know which the Rothschilds makes the presidents. They're trillionaires. They own the world. They own like 90% of the world.
Yeah. And plus, if you have all these superstars and all these actors,
control their puppets.
Well, and not only that, they got the money to buy land.
Oh yeah.
And eventually, there's going to be one government.
Yes.
Or one secret government, should I say? The Illuminati or the Masons,
right?
Who will control all this land?
But see, the Masons are the foot soldiers of the Illuminati. You understand the pyramid, right?
Yes, yes.
It's shaped like a triangle, right? So we're at the very bottom.
At the very bottom.
And then above that, you got different families. Different. Above that, you got York Rite, Scottish Rites, which are also sets of different branches of Freemasons. And then you go into Knights Templar, and you got, so Shriners.
I guess that's where you get the all-seeing eye from.
The all-seeing eye is Lucifer.
Right.
Underneath them is the Rothschilds. Underneath them is the Council of 13, or the Council of 33, or 13. No, 13. Underneath them, you got the Council of 33. Underneath them, you got big, different corporations like the CFR, the Council of Foreign Relations, and underneath them, you got, like 6 big companies that own all the, they own all the real estate, and they own all like media outfits, I said media. They own all different types of.
Yeah, like those people who, like Warren Buffett, who owns.
Well, yeah, he's a 33rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they own, property, they own land, they own
everything.
Everything. So you got 6 corporations in the world that owns 90% of the assets and the money of the world, right? So even the Federal Reserve is not of the United States. It's a separate entity that's ran by the Rothschilds. See, the Rothschilds, they run all that from their house. And they live out in England. They don't leave that house.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
They don't leave the house.
Why is that? I mean,
because that's where the devil dwells.
Gotcha.
The devil could only be in one place. God is everywhere.
Yeah.
You understand?
True. Yeah, because God is he's
everlasting.
He's omnipresent.
Yeah, he's everywhere. You can't put God in there, sir. He's too big.
And you can't have the devil everywhere. He's limited to his power.
One spot.
Amen.
Well, he'll use his foot soldiers to do other things.
Exactly.
They're all demons. They're all demon possessed. They're vessels. They're fleshly vessels that are compartmentalized. They're like shattered. They shatter their brains, and it's just like MK Ultra, right? They use MK Ultra to break the minds of people, and then they mold them the way that they want them to go.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Or satanic ritual abuse. That all comes together with the Freemasons.
So their ultimate goal is pretty much to have one world order,
one world religion,
and one world
currency. Yep.
To eventually rule the world.
Rule the world, right?
All right, so I'm sure that should have been very interesting to people. We're gonna come back to that video, but I had to drop that. So much appreciated, Kuyani. You really opened the door up, and I trust people appreciate the interconnection between the politics, the finances, the devil, the financial system, the presidents, and people in power. Farity, go ahead. You had your hand up.
All
Rahwat.
right. Yeah, that was interesting. I saw that last shadow, and just fortunate to be raised in Malachi York's lodge, because I don't know anything about what he's talking about. So that's just, it's crazy. But I came across an article. It was in 2021. The International Tribunal finds the U.S. guilty of crimes against humanity. And one section here, police killings. The testimony was heard regarding an alarming pattern and practice of police murdering Black, brown, and indigenous people with impunity. We were informed that a recent commission of inquiry found that Black people are 3.5 times more likely than white people to be killed by police when Blacks are not attacking or do not have a weapon. This regraded data for other peoples is lacking. So my question is, with this, the tribunal finding the U.S. guilty of crimes against humanity, and seeing that it happened during the lockdown or the shutdown, was very interesting. What remedies are there now for people who have went through the indigenous document process and are white in commerce? What remedies or what advantage is this for people who have gone that route? The advantage is we can invoke international law, treaties, international statutes. That's the advantage. Because Congressional Record, page 83220 of May 11, 1955, specifically says Congress must promote
human rights. People who are Black or African American, they're not entitled to human rights. People who are Black or African American are not entitled to protection under the law. It is what? Discretionary. It's under the discretion of the authority, the judge, the commission, Chamber of Commerce. They can make the final decision. And keep in mind, in some cities in what they call the United States of America, where there's a lot of Black people and Black politicians, and people say, well, you're supposed to be Black, you're supposed to rule in my favor. That's when they should overstand and accept that if the statute says this, and now the statute says it, people say, oh, we're all equal under the law. The statute says they can do this, they do it, and they don't get remedy. It's because the trump card, the reset button that they can push stop at any time is Black has no standing at law. And again, we got to think, I'm going to put this on the screen here real quick, that we got to think, what's his name? Barack Hussein Obama. He told the secret. So again, we're in the International Decade for People of African Descent, and that's going to be up in 4 months. They have given Black people, peoples of African descent, visible minority, people of color, a 10-year. And the theme of the 10 years was recognition, justice, and development. People of African descent, Afro-Caribbean, people of the diaspora, Afro-Latino, you are not entitled to protection under the law. Period. So there's no remedy for them if they want to stay Black. There's remedy if they want to get white. There's remedy if they want to become indigenous. There's remedy for them for that. But they're not going to get remedy until you change the foundation. So for people who are contractors, carpenters, things of that nature, they'll tell you, you got to make sure that you frame your base. You got to make sure your base support is framed properly, then you pour your concrete. If it's off by an inch and you build on top of it, that inch could turn into 10 feet depending on how high you have to go. So there's no, you don't get that leeway of, oh, so what if the base is off by a quarter inch? Nope. That got to be framed properly. Then inside the wooden frame's got to be framed properly. So you see how something as simple as building a house, a shed, anything of those nature, the rules of construction must be abided by. And let's say they do it and they do a bad job and then sell the house, and then the person gets it and they find, hey, this is off. Then the builder has to what? Come back and fix it at their expense, correct?
Correct.
So the subject of people of African descent were given a decade. And this is the reality of Black people due to the programming, the environment, the influence, the peer pressure, the being devoured by other Black devils. This is what happens. They're going to, I'm telling you this now, I've said this before, I'm going to reiterate it because of your question. When January 1st comes up, by the time they go to Black History Month, these Negroes are going to start saying, hey, we had passed. Portals closed, doors closed. We had an international decade for people of African descent. We need to talk about that. Too late. Too late. I got into it with the international, what is it? The International African People's Congress of the United Kingdom. I got to put that video back up again. And they were upset. They kept talking about the Durban Accords that were done back 19 years ago in South Africa. The Durban Declaration. Let me see if I can put this one here. I just want to get the year right. Durban. Yes, the Durban Declaration and Program of Action. Now, this was done the 20th anniversary. So they did this around 2009. What, 20? Yeah, no, so 2009. So it would have been 2021 is 20 years. So 2010, so 2009 and 20? No, it's going to be less than that. 21 minus 20 is 11. So 2011 is when, can you see that here? Okay, great. This declaration was done back in 2021, or 2011, pardon me. And these were what they said, the actions that needed to be taken, this Durban Declaration and Program of Action for people of African descent. So it is the UN's blueprint to combat racism, racial discrimination, xenophobia, and related intolerance globally. And so again, this should be something they should be saying. This is granted it's 2021, so that's 2011. What's that? 20 and 3. So 23 years. What's the number 23 under the Bible numbers? Death. So 23 years, and I got into it. We got into a big argument with the African Congress, the African World Congress that I was invited to. Got into a big argument over them claiming black. And I said, listen, you wasting your time. Oh, well, we have the Durban Accords that said that was 19 years ago. I said, what are you bragging about? What have you accomplished for 19 years from that Durban Accord? Nothing, and you won't, because what? Black has no standing at law. So I will again reiterate and re-emphasize, and there isn't a black person, a black scholar, a historical black college and university, a black private school, a black old boys school, a black ROTC. None of these people who call themselves black can defend black. None of them. So don't you find that heinous, an abomination, criminal, if you will, disgusting, that these clean-cut, boule black people talking about we got to help the community. You help these children by telling them they're white, for starters, telling them the definitions of race. What do the Jews do? They teach the children about money, commerce, banking. They teach them about that at the Jewish school. They don't go to the private school. Much appreciation, big up to Rabbi Finkelstein. So you have one group of people that we're going to teach our children how the monetary system works in accord with them being quote unquote religious, despite the fact they're converts to Judaism, which came out of what? Egypt. So, so there's no, I do not have, come January 1st, you have to tell black people to their face, like, listen, if you ain't gonna change black, you's a slave. You chattel. You are property. You somebody's hoe. You somebody's bitch. No, you have to see, being kind or being agreeable is at a certain point, if the person is genuinely stressed about what happened. A case in point, what was it? Shannon Sharp showed the guy who got attacked. I think it was in Florida or whatever. Him and his wife was having the breakfast, and then you just see the officer kick him from behind. The next minute, they both jump on him because they said, "Oh, he had a warrant." Then they found out it was the wrong person. Now, in a situation like that, generally you would have saw the lawyer chaser. What's his name? Benjamin Crump. But so far, I ain't heard a word from Benjamin Crump. That hustle come January 1st is going to be over for him. They're not going to be all these black, clean-cut boule people. They will not help you, cannot help you. That's why I played this video with the police. That guy's a police officer, and he's telling you, this is occult stuff. He said, this ain't nothing to play with. He's telling you, yes, the devil is there, meets with the Rothschild, tells him what to do. So the goals and the achievements that At-sik-hata Nation and Yamasee-Moors has achieved, we're at an elevated state. People cannot judge our nation based upon us not having certain material things. The old saying, like Bobby Hemmett said, when you go up into their vessel, you gonna tell them you're a god? Can you do that?
Can't defend it.
We've done enough work that if you go up into the, they're like, we don't want to see you.
Like you said, make freedom your motivation. That's what you told us at the beginning of the caveat when I met you. And that's what I did. I made freedom my motivation. I'm free on paper. For sure.
Exactly. When people try to make the finances the priority, it becomes elusive. So when you say, forget it, I don't want the gold, I don't want the this, all of a sudden it comes to you. Why? Because that's a subtle way of trying to, one, seduce you, but then at the second point, did you watch The Departed yet? That movie, The Departed?
Oh, yes, yes.
And what did Leonardo DiCaprio tell Jack Nicholson? So my father never asked for no money. He said, no, he wouldn't take the money. He said, you can't do nothing with a guy like that.
You corrupt him.
So that means you can't corrupt him, you can't bribe him.
Right.
So a guy will say, hey, here's these are 500s, here's 20 of them. You didn't see nothing. You didn't see nothing. And you like, nah, I don't want that. Can't control you. That's another aspect of the fiat. All right?
All right, my friend. Much appreciated.
Great question. Nuti and Onefe, greetings. Where are you all at? There you are. Go ahead, unmute yourselves. Hold on. Oh, not you, Affairty. That's my error. What happened? Greetings, Rabbi, greetings. All right, so I wanna say something. I want to acknowledge you and Nuti. That assignment was really for people who were on training, that were still on training, because some people aren't and left. It was only for them. It wasn't meant for you all to do it. However, you two have my highest honor and honor for doing it, because I never asked you to do it, and you did it. I said, I know you and Nuti are white. So you getting everyone here is a witness. I have no doubts that you and your mate are white.
All right, gratitude.
Your question, what was the significance of the Olympic opening ceremony? Was it a ritual? That's the question, correct?
Correct.
I didn't watch that. The opening. I didn't watch it. I didn't know about it because I'm like, okay, well, the Olympics must have started already, because they already started basketball games. And I think rugby, they were already starting before the opening ceremony. So I thought, oh, okay, well, I missed the opening ceremony, whatever. Then I'm hearing people say, oh, did you see the opening ceremony? Oh, that was disgusting there. I'm hearing all this stuff. I saw, what's his name? The giant Smurf there in the thing. All I see is him out there. And I'm like, what the heck is happening here? They did the Last Supper. I haven't really watched the video. I've been catching the small little clips and said, why is this guy's penis visual on the TV? I was like, oh, wow, this is what happened? People was in an uproar. So, yes, it was a ritual. They went back to, oh, gosh, I think it was the 2012, was it Tokyo or China or whatever? They had an Olympics in 2012, and they showed that they were already talking about the COVID back at the opening of that Olympics. So people are saying, okay, if that was 2012, COVID came out 2019, 2020, 8 years later, they said, what is this one supposed to signify down the road? Notice this. Every year you hear the LGBTQ high five, divided sign, square plus root, high fives, always seeing they'll have some gay pride. First it was June, then they took over 1 day in June, then they took over a week in June, then it went to the whole month of June to overshadow Juneteenth, which was already in existence. Okay, fine. Then I think last year, the year before, oh, they have another Pride. I said, what the hell you mean Pride? They just had one in June. Then they turn around 3 months later, have another one, August, September, somewhere they have another one. Then they turn around and say, oh, we have another Pride in October. I'm like, what the heck is this going on here? How many freaking prides you guys need, parades you guys need to have? I just saw on the news up here, Treaty 6 territory, corporately called Edmonton, Alberta, a city that's on the Indian reservation, but nobody wants to talk about that, not even the First Nations, so-called First Nations. They are trying to get what's called the Gay Games and host the Gay Games in Edmonton. So the other people who are, yes, you heard it right, the Gay Games. So they have South Africa is trying to get it, Germany, I think France or Italy, and Edmonton, and I forget, New Zealand and Australia. So that's just some of them, that what they put on there. So they're going to reduce it down to a short list of 3. So I noticed this year, Pride and the gay stuff was all quiet. I said, what's going on? I'm not hearing all this Pride, no Pride advertisements on the TV, not hearing nothing about Pride on social networking. Was quiet. I said, oh, that's what y'all did. Y'all said, we're going to stay quiet and we're going to hit them at the Olympics where the whole world is watching, and we can mind rape you while y'all watch the TV with your children. So people were hot in France. People the world over were hot, to the point where I saw where they said the opening, the YouTube channel that the IOC has, they took the whole opening down off of YouTube because of the outcry. Homosexual manifesto. Again, mind rape. I will watch a movie, I can be objective to a certain point, and if I see, the best one was American Gods. If you've seen the series American Gods.
No, I haven't.
If you haven't seen, I think it's either on HBO or might be Amazon. It's American Gods. You might be able to find some clips there, a hot stick or whatever. On there's a scene where this cab driver, who is a devout Muslim, falls in love with the jinn. The jinn, though, is a man. So I can be very objective in terms of, okay, I want to understand this, the science, and look, watch this, no matter how jacked up it may appear. But then I said, hold on a second. Is this guy's phallus really going into this guy's butt and they're actually showing this? I said, stop this. I said, nope, we're going to fast forward this. So anytime the scene came up, that is a gay scene, and if it don't line up, because what they love to do is, and this is what a lot of trannies and gay people, or the more so the trannies and the bisexuals, get into trouble, because they won't tell the guy that they're actually a tranny, or they're into men, or they're dressed up looking like a woman, and won't tell the guy. So they don't tell him until they do the Tone Loc thing, Oscar Mayer Wiener, by the time they hit the hotel room or the guy's place. So why won't you tell another man that you like men? Because you will be what? Rejected. So what it is they want to rape. That was what happened with the Olympics. I still want to go back and see it, because it said the guy was naked, he was painted, and he's dancing around naked on the TV. People cuss out. So I'm waiting to hear any lawsuits that might be filed in France. Mind raping you. So you think it's one thing, and then when you least expect it, drop it on you. They have a black woman, because they always get the black people, the black gays, the black bisexuals, the black trannies. They get them as their whores. they put them out there so you can't say nothing negative because now you're homophobic, blackophobic, and all that other phobic. No, they are the sexual whores on the plantation. This woman who worked for Walt Disney said, oh, they gave me free reign. So first it went from the gay person being a stock character, then a supporting character, then another character, and then they would start dropping in little love scenes and all this. And then black woman sitting there, she's smiling from ear to ear, she's proud of that. I'm like, no, this is what psychologists had said, and that's why they fought so hard to get the DSM-4 changed, because I have it. And they, the psychologists have described homosexuality as a mental illness. Oh, and I've asked women who are straight, what is your thought when you see a man trying to be more feminine than you? What is your thoughts? And most times they have this like perturbed look on their face, like, girl, I got that gloss, you know what I'm saying? Oh gosh, and my nails. What? So those people have a hatred for themselves. And the one, they're fighting something up here in Alberta with the tranny, and they're stopping about the government up here is stopping the puberty blockers. And so the trannies are all in an uproar about that. But then I see another psychologist say, most of those people who do transition afterward, they have suicide. They feel suicidal.
Sure.
So that's what it was, mind rape. And that's what I said. That's why y'all was quiet in Juneteenth. I didn't hear nothing from the gay people all on this Gregorian calendar up until the Olympics. So they were keeping it under wraps until the Olympics and do a Diana Ross, I'm coming out. See how they took Diana Ross's song, I'm coming out, I want the world to know that she's a woman. Her daughter, Tracy Ellis Ross, ain't got no man. Why is this woman who's successful taking pictures of herself in a bikini? Because she can't get no man. So it's what? Fighting nature. They are against nature. That's what they are. If you say man and man, woman and woman, and you want that, cool. Why do you want? Because in those groups, and I know, and people can't say nothing about that, because I've really put them on full blast. I've scorched them. They don't say nothing to me because they know. Partially, I had experience in business, future companies I used to have where they were my clients. So I knew the mentality. I knew how they were, how they think. So they can't play that game and say, I know how you all think. I know how you all get down. I know how you function. So I know them. They have not, out of all this time, were ever supportive of black people at all. Now they're like, okay, well, we'll get the black people in, use them as the sexual pawns. Because pawns, if they make it to the other side, good, we elevate them to queen, pun intended, or like RuPaul, or we will turn around and what we will do is we will, if they get caught or whatever, we'll dispose of them. So that was the purpose, was the mind rape. And so we'll see what the fallout is. I've mentioned the homosexual manifesto. It's at the UN. They know, they appreciated it. And I have a feeling because I did that and kept repeating, here's the homosexual manifesto. This is what they're about. This is their modus operandi. This is their blueprint of what they're doing. Stuff changed. And this is what we have to do. When these male and male, female and female, one of them has to be the female. One of them has to be the male. So they're doing a role play by when you see them walking in public, one of them has to be the submissive, one of them has to be the dominant. So how are two men going to be both one submissive and one dominant, but they're both XY? And it's going to get worse because of what's happening in the boxing. They had two trannies that failed the XY chromosome test, and one punched one girl, 46 seconds, she was done. She started crying. They were forced to fight them, mind you. So again, you can't stop that rape if you're not going to bring up their plan. They said, the San Francisco Gay Choir said, "We're coming for your children," and sang that and put that on Twitter at the time, now X.com. And when people started catching on to it, they took it down. So why would you take the video down? I thought you guys said we're about love. Oh, I told y'all, love is evil. It might be a phallus, but the phallus can also be a spear.
Sure.
What was the other one? Was it a ritual? Yes, it was a ritual. And these are the reasons why I keep telling everybody, get your altars, work your heck up. I'm giving people these invocations and keep using them. They work. They work. But you see, again, the video that I played, we'll go back to it later. That's a police officer telling you 95% of police officers are Masons, and generally you can't become a police officer unless you are a Mason. You can't work in the criminal justice system. You can't work in the jails unless you are a Mason. So all the killings going on, when are the Black Masons going to open their mouths up and start revealing the fact they're Masons? Could it be that department, hey, we need a blood ritual this month. Y'all ain't killed nobody. Here, 2 of y'all go out and kill somebody. Telling y'all, I'm telling y'all want like, for everyone else who's listening, if you want real stuff, tell me yes. For those of you that don't want the real stuff, this is not for you. Go back to being a slave, plug back into the matrix. Because I saw that yesterday, and again, it had me, I said I'd only play 5 minutes, I played 10. And so you see, he's saying this is what it is, a ritual. People think magic is relegated to David Copperfield and Chris Angel and all that stuff. You all can make magic. But however, the rule is, if you don't believe your magic is going to work, it ain't going to work. The greatest secret, well, not the greatest, but one of the greatest secrets, according to them, their boy Yahshua, Jesus said, as a man thinketh in his heart, in his mind, as a man thinketh, so shall he become. That's as simple as it is. So people who want to remain Black, let them stay Black. Their resonance in their energy field, only thing they can do is pull you down. Can't do nothing for you. Those people who are on a higher resonance, you get with them and everybody starts realizing this is how you all on a whole get remedy. All right?
Gratitude.
You're quite welcome, white female. Much appreciated. You and Nuti for that. That's what white people do. You did have to do it, and you did it because you claimed white. And that's what it's about. Much appreciated. Adapa down in Antigua. Where is Adapa? Rawat. I see your question here. Why was Benjamin his only son born after the name of Jacob?
Yes, Chief. It's a two-part question.
Jacob? Okay, go ahead.
It's a two-part question. It was, why was Benjamin the only son born after the name change of Jacob? And why would they refer to all sons of Jacob as sons of Israel when Benjamin is the only son born after Jacob name change? And why they only refer to 12 sons and not 13 children of Israel?
Yes, great question. Now, as you know, Jacob wrestled who?
An angel.
And the angel's name was what?
Peniel.
Pineal.
Pineal.
Right? Forget how they spell it in the Bible. It was the pineal gland. So Jacob's lower self wrestled with the higher self. Because Isra ascend to El, or Isis, Ra, and El. He his higher self prevailed. So then from that forth on, after the angel went and touched his thigh and broke his thigh, he said, well, I'm not going to let you go until you give me your blessing. Okay, your name from now on is Israel. It's no longer Jacob, it's Israel. And so they say the sons of Jacob.
Israel.
And now from the sons of Jacob to the sons of Israel because of the name change. So all the Benjamin coming after that name change, it is inclusive of all the sons because the name change now stands. They said, forget the past, he's Israel now. So all the people in the village or in that area that knew him as Jacob or Jacob now have to call him Yisrael. That's why Israel says Israel. They don't say Yisrael. They say Israel. And there's a difference between is and is. And they don't talk about 13. 13 is a positive number. A guy just found out, it was an excellent video. 52 weeks in a year, 4 weeks in a month. And he said that means it's 13 months. We're actually working 1 month for free and you get 2 weeks vacation.
Facts.
So they don't talk about what's her name? The 13 was Dinah, who was raped. She's a child. She has to be considered. They're not considering her. That's why they only talk about the 12 sons. They don't talk about the 13th, which was Dinah. That's when I think it was Simon and Reuben told the guys from that tribe that raped their sister, well, you're going to have to get circumcised in order to join us. So all the men agreed to it and circumcised. While they circumcised it, then Reuben and Simon, if I've got the tribes correct, went and killed all of them for raping their sister. There's 13. 13 is not an evil number. They got people what? Programmed for 13. They say there's 12 Federal Reserve banks. No, there's 13. What's the 13th bank? The Bank of Canada. Because Canada is already part of the United States under the 1778 Articles of Confederation and Perpetual Union. So when people hear 13, Friday 13, 13-4, people get all spooked and superstitious. No. How can you have a 12th floor and then a 14th floor, 15th and the rest, but you skip out 13? That is done deliberately because they don't want you ascending or getting a connection to the Most High. So now they said there's a post that I saw where they said it used to be 13 months and then some 1920 or 1858 or something, they changed it from 13 months to 12 months. And so my question to you, why are you asking that question and what's the relevancy of the question? What's the reason for that?
Just recently, have you seen the case with the Artist Vibes Cartel?
Artist Vibes Cartel.
Adidja Palmer.
That sounds familiar. Is that in the guy in the UK?
No, Jamaica.
Yeah, but he appealed that. I think he appealed the case from Jamaica to the House of Lords or something in London because I know who his attorney was. That was the Radican show that I did. He killed somebody or something. He killed somebody or something, right?
Okay, they released him July the 31st, a day before Emancipation Day.
Okay, in Jamaica, for Jamaica's emancipation.
And the number that came up was 13.
If you add 7, if you add 7 plus 31 is 10, 11, and 24 is 11 and 6 is 17. 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay, it must be a different calculation I'm looking at. Go ahead.
No, what I was saying, from the reports that came out, that he'd been locked up since 2011.
Yes.
And through all the appeal and through all everything that was going on, and for health reasons mainly, he has been released now. And what I'm seeing now, they're working a big spellbinding ritual on the young people them, because now I see all kind of people that come up with manifestation and the number 13 amongst the algorithm. So that's why that question came up to me to ask you, because it's not 12 anymore, it's 13 now. But in the religion now, which is the Christianity, that always talk about 12 sons of Israel, but they don't talk about his 13 children. So with that now, with resonance and frequency, as the past week has been very hot up here. Very, very hot. Yeah, so hot that I have to take off half a day and so, because the heat is on in the Caribbean. So you hearing me, Chief?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. I heard everything.
Okay.
Yes,
So,
I hear about the spellbinding. Yes, go on.
So my question really is about the case in terms of, because I know you know about ISAT, and it would be because when I say Chief, right now, in the Caribbean right now, especially in Antigua, the politics gone to the next level right now in terms of the destruction. You see?
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to all this, because I see them flood the internet with a lot of black programming right now.
Yes.
A lot of they just keep on using the word black, and they keep on using the word nice. Because even in the spellbinding. So with everything that is going on now, because for me whole thing is just what can I just do better to keep on shielding myself from all these frequencies that's going on. Because I'm saying the sun is one. Yeah. They hitting the people with the spell binding through the music and entertainment, because they didn't catch what Anu was the question Anu asked you earlier. But you touch on some things, and by answering Anu question. So I was making notes, especially when it comes to the paper illusion and so forth, because from my position here, I'm having a lot of difficulty when it comes to my donation towards you, when it comes to the AI.
Yes.
Because I'm seeing a lot of AI generated content right now.
Yes. Because people aren't looking when they put their video up on YouTube. YouTube says what you need to do. Tatiana, put your video on, please. YouTube says when you put your video on, they ask you if you can do there's a checkbox that can you do basically automate or take clips from your video and make clips. So if you don't look at that, that's giving the AI permission to make clips of your video, do class. Said, nope, you can't do that. That's AI. I'm not letting you do that. Especially since I had 5,000 followers on my other channel. They took that down. I started monetizing. I had $65 in monetization already back months ago. So they took it down. So I want to see what's going to happen now with Alphabet Inc., who owns Google and YouTube, when it's found out they were censoring people now that the state of Kansas has filed suit against Pfizer. So now that they've done that, they're saying Pfizer knew that the shot wasn't going to work and they misled people. So the state of Kansas is suing Pfizer, and their server must be getting hit because when I saw that, I clicked on the link. Oh, I want this case. Can't get the case. They said, oh, we can't connect to that server, so I have to try again to get the case and see because they're going after them. So that's one of many lawsuits that they're facing. So grounding, like I said, shungite, activated charcoal, what's it, baking soda, music. I keep a very tight selection of music. I don't listen to what's on the radio. I don't listen, not like on an everyday thing. So if you're concerned about resonance, a lot of stuff, aside from, stuff you have to hear if somebody has a radio playing at the job, then okay, you can't do too much about that. But at home, we don't listen to a lot of that stuff. I like to keep the resonance 528, 432, and sometimes I'll play some old Thought Nubian tapes and Thought Nubian. We got the white music, the salsa. That's my ringtone. That's what you have to do is create that environment at the very minimum in your home. So I don't listen to a lot of that stuff.
Also, I saw an X video talking about so-called white people being attacked right now for being vaccine refusers. So is this thing, because right now, right now everybody is alarmist right now. Look, I look at everything as a distraction, but it's like alarmist. But the way how this video was put together by this so-called white female, it was like she was just calling out the amount of immigrants in different places in Europe.
Yes, I saw the video. That's game. Now, when we're claiming white, they're saying Amorite woman at that medical conference is saying, yeah, we need to get rid of all the white people.
Right.
You have to
That's
read,
what I'm talking about.
You have to read in between that, because eventually these people, I would trust that they would wake up. These black people, we've already seen black people doing stuff, but then they have the race down as white. So that tells me again, some of the criminal element, they will be more receptive to what I teach than the people who are all goody two-shoes, if you will. They had these two black guys. I'm like, okay, but they had their race written down as white on their mugshot, and I said, oh, here it comes.
Because why am I bring up Vibes Cartel now? He came out of jail wearing all white with the orange with one of the orange handkerchief like this around his face and round it, and in his let me see, in his left pocket. You check? So all that, because I'm seeing the signs and symbols. You check? Because it's just, because watching that video and they're talking about the who going against so-called white people for being vaccine refusers. And then Japan right now is working also with others to sue the pharmaceutical companies of them.
Yes, they started an investigation and they said they're going after them. Yep.
So eventually I would be able to use the case for Kansas City and Japan as
an exhibit, as evidence.
Yes.
And if there's the union that you're part of, they will have an office in those countries and states. That now becomes a precedent that any union members anywhere in the world can use those cases because they're part of that union brotherhood. Understood?
Yes, thank you, Chief.
You're
much
welcome.
appreciated.
Much appreciated. Tatiana, please turn your mic on. Greetings.
Hi guys, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. What city and state are you in?
I am in Los Angeles, California, in Orange County.
Okay, so who is this friend that's getting evicted, and what does this have to do with us?
He's here. Like right now, I was gonna go to the vet because I had an emergency with my poor doggy. You know, he's throwing up. But I show you my friend. He's very confused. He's elderly, and we're desperate because we got served papers. He's here. Look, Robert. Look, they're trying to help us. So.
Oh no, hold on. Before you put that in my mouth, I don't know who you are. So I don't know how you got on here and what this situation has to do with us.
Okay, so
he's your friend. You live there? You live there with him?
Yeah, so my friend Florence, she recommended me your group because
Florence?
Yes, Florence is with Emilio, and
I haven't heard. I think I know who Emilio is. Emilio ain't shown his face in years.
Well, yeah, so they gave me this because I am being desperate now because they helped me with like drafting some letters of the common law because there was some fraudulent problems in the loan of the house.
I don't know any of that, my dear. None of that. I've seen no contract. I'm gonna help you here in this capacity only, limited. The way I function is I gotta see contracts, number one. Number two, you need the help that's urgent. Emilio hasn't spoken to me. So for Emilio to just pass you on to me, and I haven't spoken to him in years, he may have been on, that's like a shot in the dark because I don't know all that's involved. You got 5 days. They put that up on the door, start moving.
Oh no.
Oh yes, they gonna come with them sheriffs. I can guarantee you that.
Well, they said that because the letters that we wrote, they were like based on the common law.
Who's they that said that?
Who said that of the letters? Well, I bought this book. Hold on, let me show you the book that I got. And it's this one. It's called My Home is My Castle.
Who's the author?
And David E. Robinson.
Okay, have you contacted David E. Robinson?
Yes, I've been trying, but nothing, because this has just happened so fast. I thought that there was no...
Let's slow down. I get you. I get that. Let's slow down here. Now, the author wrote the book, My Home is My Castle. You've contacted him to assist you. And so far, you haven't heard anything, correct?
Correct.
Okay. This is a prime example of what I mean when people say they can either sell a book, they can put documents out there, and there's no example of somebody who's done it and has been successful. And this is what a question I was asked earlier. You're in Los Angeles, that's the city of Los Angeles. Straight evil out there. You have too much corruption going on, especially in Los Angeles, that these guys aren't going to follow it. And furthermore, the person who's writing the book, they need to have some kind of body of work. People who said, yes, I've done this, it's worked for me, it's helped me. Because when you start talking about housing, etc., is this his house or your house?
No, it is his house, but they
okay,
are
and what country? What country are you from?
Colombia.
Okay, so how long have you been in the United States for?
Oh my God, 11 years.
Okay, so once Anuano, you've been in for 11 years in the United States. So you're renting from him, or that's your husband?
I take care of him because he's elderly, so I live with him and take care of him. Yes.
Do you have power of attorney for him?
Yes.
Okay, so you have power of attorney for him. Were you getting the communiques or the letters? So you have power, so you can look at his mail, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so when they gave notice How long ago did they give notice?
Well, he was in the hospital. That was the problem. And the
That's not the question I asked you. I asked you because you said you got power of attorney. That makes you responsible.
No, but I only got power of attorney now. Before it had the brother was the power of attorney, not me.
Okay, now you got to contact the brother who was power of attorney to find out when the last communication was. That's probably why the brother gave you power of attorney. Because the brother probably messed up.
Yeah.
So now you have that, and he got served on Thursday. And what is it that they want?
Well, it was improperly because I thought that when they serve the documents, they give it in your hand. That's what I thought. They just left it by the door.
They don't have, yeah, they could throw it on, they could just throw it at your lawn. You're served. They ain't got to put it in your hand.
So if they want they want eviction. Well, I don't know how this works. They send me the letter of eviction and I have 5 days to respond.
Okay.
And I need to hire an attorney. But unfortunately, it's like we are very limited because his brother took all the money from him. And the little thing that I have is not enough to hire an attorney.
Yeah, so you have a problem.
So, and I wanted somebody was on the common, like based on the common law, like, you know, that because the letters that were written on the common law. So
you can do common law for commoners. This is a commercial contract. Does he own the property or is he still paying a mortgage?
No, he's still paying the mortgage. But now the house, they sold it in a foreclosure. And they were not supposed to sell it in the foreclosure because the letters found irregularities and fraud in the loan.
I don't know that, and I can't accept that because I'm not seeing any document. I don't have a contract with you to do any kind of counsel. All I'm just looking at when was the last communication they sent and whether there was a response. Now they're giving 5 days to respond. And what does he do? So all his money is gone?
The brother took it away.
Okay, so now how do you expect to have somebody assist you?
Well, I was looking pro bono. I just trying to hire like a paralegal, if somebody that can help me with documents. And
you have to give the paralegal something. They're not gonna, especially in California, they're not going to do it for free.
Yeah, I try to go, you know, but supposedly they said that they have pro bono in California. Is not true. I already contacted.
A lawyer will only take a case pro bono if they know for a fact they can win. Because what it means is that they'll run up the bill, and when they get settled, they'll just say, this is what we had to spend on phone calls, writing letters, the phone calls, the emails, the going into court. That's what they're going to do. So I don't know what it is what Emilio told you that I could do. I can't do nothing at this point. And
well, I just told them that I just need like somebody, like if anybody knows, like I don't know, like if I'm trying to see if I can go for a loan so I can hire somebody, because he's gonna be on the street, like we're gonna be on the streets, like this is just, and he had surgery he had cancer, and he has now a colostomy bag, and he was recovering from surgery.
Well, you got yourself a tall order there, because there's nothing over here that's going to assist you in that. That's too messy. I'm not talking about the colostomy bag or the cancer. What I'm saying is that you got 5 days to respond. So I don't know what's on the paper. I don't know what was said. I don't know what the situation is. They could be saying you got 5 days to leave. I don't know. And since I don't have a contract with you regarding that, I can't give you any kind of direction like, well, go here or go there, because I don't know all what's involved in that. He could have been in default for 6 months. You don't know. And
no, yeah, what I know is that the brother was all the time. This is, I think, elderly financial abuse, because the brother was lying, and then when I got this, it was already foreclosure and auction, and I was like, oh my God.
And if I recall, I think California is what, a non-judicial. It was judicial or non-judicial?
Non-judicial.
Yeah, so they'll sell that on the courthouse steps with the sheriffs.
So it's very complicated. I'm desperate. Like right now, I contacted like all the legal aid sources. They are booked.
I understand that, my dear. I just want you to be aware of something. At this stage of the game, when they've already served, whether you have to respond or they say you have 5 days to vacate, did you receive it? Did you look at it? What does it say?
Yes, I have 5 days to respond, and I was just Googling, and there is now I'm trying to file a petition, a motion to quash improper service because it was not properly served to buy time to find some help.
They don't have to do that in California. They just throw that on your lawn. That's it. You're served. And if you want to say common law, now that's taking you back to England. So what connection do you have with England?
Oh no, I mean constitutional law. Well, I'm just reading this book.
Constitution is a dead document. You know that, right?
Yeah, but it's like
okay. Hold on a second. You say common law, then you say constitutional. The Constitution is a dead document. You can't invoke that. You can't invoke the Constitution as a defense. It's done. Constitution is a dead document. That is Justice Scalia. This is what the people in the common law movement, the people who say they want their constitutional rights. And here, I'm going to put it, I'll bring it up for you. Constitution is a dead document. This is by Justice Antonin Scalia. The Constitution is dead. You see that? All this constitutional stuff, just like the Mason video I was playing, that's to fool people. That's all BS. This is former U.S. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia saying the Constitution is dead. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia says the Constitution is dead, 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 rather than, quote, a living document.
Oh my God. So now it's like, so I just want to know, and anybody like knows, like, so no, I have no hope, like, no, I basically just need
packing. Start packing. You can go ahead and respond. Start packing. And you tell Emilio, don't be referring people to me and he ain't spoke to me. Did you ask Emilio if he knows me, if he's actually spoken to me?
No. I was just asking for help, and then he's like trying to research some groups, maybe ask for the groups for some help. That's what he said. So I found out, but he didn't tell me to come. Like he just gave me a lot of groups, a lot, and I just happened.
But I'm saying, yes, but the thing is, you are on a time-sensitive issue. You don't have the time to be calling people up. You got to call people that can actually assist. And in something like that, I can only surmise that they're talking about you got to go. And he's 86, he got cancer, they don't care, his brother don't care. You gotta turn your mic back on.
Yes, like I'm getting like a phone call that I need to block. I don't know why it's going on. So they're calling me and I don't want to talk. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I don't know, like when a phone call comes, I just need to decline it and it's just like interrupting all these.
Okay. So I see the message there, Sa. Let's see. So Emilio is Anu's associate. So I suggest you contact Emilio. Like people can't wait till the last second, and I understand your position. However, that situation with his brother and him is ugly, and if he has no assets to assist in defending, yeah, start packing. Because you're saying you don't have no assets, right? Oh, you gotta turn your mic on.
And he took like $1 million from him.
Yes, but I'm asking about the 86-year-old. Does he have any assets?
The brother took all the assets from him. That's the
So
brother.
he has nothing, right? Hold on, you have to turn your mic back on. Right?
Yes, because this phone call is coming and I just don't know how to, block this thing. Yeah.
So start packing.
Oh my God. Oh, okay. So is there anybody here in the group? I saw some comments.
People are saying non-judicial. Now, I just want something to be clear here because I really take offense to stuff like this. This is an open Q&A for me. This is my open question and answer on what I teach, not for referrals for people with legal issues, especially when they had $1 million and their brother took it. Start packing. This is your best counsel. You can respond to that. He has no assets. He's got nothing. You're trying to get a loan if you take care of him, so you're not working, correct? You take care of him, right? You gotta turn your mic on.
Yes, I take care of him, correct.
So therefore you're in-home healthcare provider, correct?
Yeah, but I don't get paid because he has nothing to pay me.
Okay, so start packing. Start packing. Start packing. That's my counsel to you. You could go find somebody else, but start packing. All right, let's see here. So ASHNYM, if you want to get in touch with Tatiana, go ahead. That's your contract. You can send her a chat. Where's ASHNYM? Turn your mic on, turn your video on. ASHNYM.
I'm here. Greetings, Chief. Greetings, Chief. I would just, there's no funds. I mean, I can only refer her to the court in her city, and maybe there's a referral center that could help her.
They might do improper filing. They may accept that.
Yeah, she's at a 5-day notice. Yeah.
Yeah. Start packing. I keep telling you all, they start packing. What's your name? Tatiana, what's the value? So he's still paying a mortgage on the house? The house is worth $1 million?
No, the house sold in a foreclosure. The house is $2 million, like $2 million.
Okay.
The house sold.
No, you got to turn your mic. Yeah, your mic just went off again.
Oh, again, yes, a lady. They took the house they sold it in a foreclosure, and we didn't know. And then we came out with a third party bought it.
Bye-bye.
Yeah,
start packing.
Newport Beach. I mean Newport Beach.
Start packing. It's bought in foreclosure. Start packing. You can't what is your height?
5'2".
And what's your weight?
95.
You ain't fighting no sheriffs. Start packing.
If the sheriff has a right to evict me, like to take us out?
Yes. You said it sold in a foreclosure. Done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's too late to do anything else.
Start packing, baby. How much square feet is the house?
1,900 square feet.
Okay, so 1,900 square feet, is it a bungalow or a 3-level or 2-level?
It's a 2-level, it's a condo.
Okay, so a condominium, is he part of the condominium association?
Yeah.
Okay, are they able to help him?
No, they don't. They only
start packing. Do I got to get into my Wolf of Wall Street mode here? Start packing. It's sold in it's $2 million. Sold in a foreclosure. A third party bought it. His brother took the $1 million that he did have. You have no job. You take care of him. He can't pay you. Start packing.
He would die. It's like he can't have anywhere to go. He would die.
Start packing. That's the breaks.
No, God.
If they say you got 5 days, I can't see how they're giving you 5 days to leave. They ain't giving you 5 days to respond to a house that sold in foreclosure for $2 million. Start packing. Go ahead.
Wow. No, I was just gonna say, had it been before the 5 days and before the court, yeah, that could have been something done to stall it a little bit, and she
can't
could
do
have
nothing,
maybe fought the fraud. But it's too late now. It's
But
too
do you
late.
see what I'm saying? When I asked her how much the house
Yes,
was,
I do.
$1 million. Then I said, okay, well, what's going on?
Yeah.
I got this. They served this improper service. You just said first it went from improper service to it was sold at a foreclosure. Once it's sold on the courthouse steps at a foreclosure, Tatiana, if you weren't there to obstruct that sale, bye-bye. Start packing.
Yeah, you would have had to file a bankruptcy here to stop that sale.
Yeah, but what I have is just some letters that is because there was fraud in the bank. So there should be a possibility of reverse the illegal sale because
Go right ahead. Then go right ahead. Do it.
It's gonna be hard, and the attorneys in California want money. They want money up front. I know because I'm in a situation myself. They want money up front.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean because you give them money.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. That
Go
doesn't
ahead.
mean because you give them money that they're gonna solve your problems. Crooked. They're crooked.
So he has no assets, no stocks, no bonds, no gold, no silver. He has no crypto. He has no reserves. He has nothing, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Start packing.
But I want to take a loan or something for him. It's like I cannot let him die like this.
How
Like
are you going to take a loan if he's paying you? How much does he pay you a year?
No, I don't have. I was just going to ask a friend, but it's like I don't know. It's like there has to be
Stop. Do you know what the word loan means?
Yeah, that I have to pay it.
But the banks want what? Security. They want credit check and proof. Do you have credit?
No, I was asking to ask for a loan from a person, not a bank, because the bank.
How if all his money's gone?
No, it's like me putting like I just have like just this bracelet or what I don't know. It's like I just need.
Hold on, let's deal with some reality here. $2 million house. And I'm asking, see, this is why I don't like when people just say something and the story starts changing the more I get into stuff. $2 million house. His brother took all his money, which was $1 million. You have power of attorney yesterday or the day before. You get served with paperwork that you got 5 days to respond. So you say, yet you're saying the house was sold in a foreclosure. If the house is sold in a foreclosure, he don't have title, even though the foreclosure is fraudulent. I'm just telling you, this is how it's going down. You can't get a loan. He can't get a loan because he got no assets, which means his brother screwed his credit up, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, everyone who just understood everything I've said up until this point, dealing with Tatiana, please put a response in the chat. So if you understand, please put that in the chat. Now, after you've done that, when I'm telling this woman here to start packing, what should she be doing? And please put it in the chat. So what we have here, yes, I understand. Anu understood. Mazum, Tua, Adapa understood. Ankit understood. Ya, Tua, and Ya is in Ghana. Sa said, start packing. Adapa, packing. Magdalena, packing. Dikembe, Tua. Anu, start packing. Mazum, try a GoFundMe. You're always optimistic, Mazum. James Lockman, overstand. Ankit, packing. No remedy is too late. Ankh-Senamun, overstood. Dikembe, packing. Ankh-Senamun, start packing. Satepara, Tua. Kalina, packing. Tiffany, overstood. Start packing. Nuti and
Okay, I
Onabe,
get it.
overstood.
Oh my
Karen,
God.
Babatunde, overstood. Kuyani L. Tua, yes, packing. Ya, Oster, start packing. Zimran, start packing. Keon Fraser, overstood. Kia, Ben, pack it up. James Lockman, packing. Hugh and Inobley, packing. Keon, start packing. Hold on, I want you to understand something. This is my open Q&A. You came to me for help. This is how I do my Q&A. You're not going to turn around and say, I get it. No, you're going to sit there and you're going to listen. You have no asset, I'm telling you. You have nothing there. What you're saying is good in theory. That's an 86-year-old man with a colostomy bag with 5 days notice for potentially the sheriffs to show up. You're calling asking for a miracle, and I'm saying,
No.
no. You're gonna listen. I'm trying to tell you something. Okay. You're 95 pounds and you're 5'2". What do you think you're gonna do if they show up and tell you to leave?
They cannot, I don't know, they can force me out. I don't know. I've got to go out.
Listen, you can do it two ways. You can do it the easy way, or you can do it the hard way. And I can tell you right now, the video I played of that police officer that's a Mason, they live for damaging people. They get off on that. That's a blood ritual. So, I don't know you. Emilio is referring me to a situation that's too late. You eat Ankh-Senamun, that's okay. What can you? Oh, it's too late. No. Once it's foreclosed, can't do it. You can't solve nothing. Now, can you accept the fact you are not in a position to dictate the terms of what's about to occur? Or are you going to be resistant that you have no asset? He has no asset. He has nothing. He can't hire a lawyer. The best you can get is from a Zoom, and that's a shot in the dark with 3 guys guarding you for a GoFundMe. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows who he is. Why should anybody assist you?
I understand.
Start packing. Much appreciated. See, these things, you can't do these things, people. These are the things that happen. That's why I'm very adamant on the white autochtons. When you have commercial issues going on, don't play around with your time. When they issue that instrument, they say, hey, you got 10 days, you got this, or you're the one that's initiating something. You follow your schedule and get that in ASAP to get your pawns into position. You don't do that, that's negligence on your part, and then you're letting them off the hook, but then I get calls like this, oh, I need somebody, can somebody help, You ain't got nothing. This is a commercial world, you have no asset. You're dependent upon an 86-year-old guy whose all his money is taken by his brother. There we go with that family shit again. His own brother took the money, so his brother don't give a fuck about him. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? People want this esoteric, spiritual stuff, and it's like, listen, you got to deal with reality and contracts. That's what you got to deal with. Look at, use Adappa's question about Jacob. Who was it that got sold into slavery? The brother, who was the brother? Joseph was one of, Joseph was the one that got sold into slavery, right? Go ahead, Adappa, you turn your mic on.
To achieve. Was the one that sold into slavery.
Right, and Israel was the one, Israel loved him out of all the sons, if I got the story right, correct?
Yes, Chief. He was the most loved because he got a rainbow,
multicolored coat.
robe,
Yes.
a multicolored robe. Yes,
Yes.
Chief.
Don't worry, we're gonna take the rainbow back. Oh yes, we will claim the rainbow back. Oh yes, know that. I just gotta get it talked into shape, but we gonna take back the rainbow. Know that. So they got the warning. We gonna take the rainbow back.
And you find a lot of people in the Caribbean named, the last name is Joseph.
All right. So Joseph was sold into slavery by his own brothers. And as Bobby Hemmett so eloquently stated, when it comes to spirituality, don't teach them niggers nothing. I'm talking about your family, blood, so-called blood DNA family. They don't want to hear it. Let the dead bury the dead.
Facts again.
So here we have a familial situation, right? Y'all think y'all know your family? Y'all don't know your family. You think you know your family. You do not know them. Once they get 18, like Bobby Hemmett said, they're fucking strangers.
Facts again, Chief.
And I can speak because my lineage coming from the Caribbean and into Africa, I can tell you right now, they got the book, one of my favorite books, An Age for Lucifer by Robert C. Thomas. Robert C. Tucker.
Great book.
Oh, you have it?
No, Chief, you send me a couple of pages out of it.
Yes. So let me just do this here while we're on this subject. I'm so glad that Tatiana, much appreciated, Adapa. I'm so glad that Tatiana called in and came on, because this has opened this doorway up. Let's see here. Devouring. Okay, so the family devours. So that's page 114. Possession by family. Everyone pay close attention. The etymology of family is servants of a household. That's what the etymology of family is. The family can possess. A child can be so entirely penetrated and controlled by his family that his unique individual identity can cease to exist. This is what I noticed primarily in the Caribbean. It is not exclusive to the Caribbean. He then, the child, becomes an agent of family dynamics, acting them out mechanically, predictably, and unconsciously. Thus, the abused child goes on to abuse, the child of alcoholics goes on to alcoholism, and the child of coercive parents goes on to become coercive. Family therapists can be understood in this context as exorcists. And we know how well exorcism can go. Trying to relieve the individual of familial and perhaps even multi-generational possession. This is page 114 again, Age for Lucifer by Robert C. Tucker. Luciferian families are breeding grounds for instruction in the art of possession. Luciferian parents wish to possess their children and will use them as efficiently and as coldly as a spider devouring its young. Surviving children of Luciferian parents will often rise up in turn to devour their own children and eventually their own Luciferian parents, possessing their energy, wealth, which is what happened with this guy and his brother, and power, if possible, which he did. From time to time, Luciferian children are born into non-Luciferian homes. The result is always disastrous for the parents because the child will inexplicably try to possess everything he or she can. Attention, time, money, emotional energy. Such children are never satisfied, are never fulfilled. Their demands are relentless and almost impossible to resist. No amount of counseling, therapy, discipline, threats, discussions, or guidance will change this. No amount of love will ever be enough because the child is not seeking love, just power. The parents will be mortified and will probably age and die without understanding their child's betrayal. So when these LGBTQ high fives start talking about love, we're spreading love. No, it ain't. Luciferians. The best Luciferians, or Luciferians as he states here, devour and possess their parents and or children without raising suspicion. They will possess while appearing to love. Love is evil. They will devour while seeming to give. Let's do a striptease and a gay show for the children at the library and read library books in drag. M. Scott Peck wrote about such families in his book called People of the Lie. That's the name of the book. And his case studies remain the best available. He did not, for note in parentheses, he did not frame these families as Luciferian, but rather as evil. And he described the essential feature of such people, such evil people as the lie, hence the title. Adam Crabtree, a therapist from Toronto, also includes case studies of family possession in his book Multiple Man, Explorations in Possession and Multiple Personality. So, when the Holy Tablets, it says, most of the women of the United States are possessed. So, when a woman is acting out of her nature, the way she should be conducting herself, she's possessed. When a man is mad, gets upset, uncontrolled, he's possessed. So realizing that, it is imperative people look and have an extremely critical eye at their family. Because they always say, oh, I'll give my children unconditional love, except when they get white. Except when they say, I'm not dealing with the religion, I'm not dealing with Christianity, I'm not dealing with Islam, I'm not dealing with none of that stuff. That's not going to bring the best out of me, that's not going to assist me, that's not going to tie me into the past. And the ancestors I can get their energy from the past to get me in tune with them and go forward and elevate and create something that is conducive to us. Does everybody understand that? So, yes, this is a spiritual battle. This is why what I do, what I teach, At-sik-hata Nation, coming on the At-sik-hata Setting Process webinar, this is so far removed. This is a spiritual battle that's going on. 1 minute people have their focus, next minute, oh, they have this problem, that problem, phone ain't working, that is because you becoming white. And that is going to affect their system because we didn't make the definitions and the syntax, they did. They didn't expect you all to know, wow, I got to do something totally unorthodox and unconventional, which means what? I have to claim white. A person having origins in any of the original peoples of Europe, the Middle East, or North Africa, sanctioned by Center for Disease Control, National Institute of Health, United States government, specifically the U.S. Department of Education, U.S. Census, a CRO, etc. So everyone, especially for the people that are on for the first time and people who will see this recording, all that consciousness y'all want to do, you can't do that around your family. And Bobby Hemmett warned you all. Don't teach them don't teach them nothing. I advocate having a 5-minute conversation, provided they bring up the issue of why things are, wish there was something we could do. Then present that to them. If they accept, great. If they don't accept, they're not ready. They're talking consciousness. They really want a Jesus character to come down from the sky and free them. It ain't happening. When you see the Jebusites talking about we want to destroy the Gentiles, this is the book called You Gentiles by Samuel, what's his name? I have it right here. You Gentiles by Maurice Samuel. And the other book about Jewish ritual murder. This is by Arnold S. Leese. My irrelevant defense being Meditations Inside Gaul and Out on Jewish Ritual Murder. So I do the open Q&A for this reason. I do the webinars on Monday for that reason on the Gregorian calendar. And I seek the living amongst the dead. Anybody that wants to hold on to the dead will become dead. Know that. Karen Babatunde, greetings.
Yeah. Greetings to all our sacred Ivine nigga ancestors or makers of the multiverse. Greetings to all white autochtons. Greetings, Chief.
Yes.
Greetings to Star. All right, so we're there. All right, so this, before I say anything else, this is one of our symbols. So I am looking around trying to find artifacts. Yes.
Oh, okay. You want hard facts? Go ahead.
I remember once I saw an image of the Buddha with our sign here. I don't know what it is called, so if you can help I with that, the name of that chief, and then you know where we can find some artifacts, because in the grander scheme of things, we see some vampire boy, we see them are artists.
No, that again, image. Yes, go ahead.
Capture our symbols now, and you know, we know, I always like to make the differentiation. As we say, we reclaim our heritage and our rights and live accordingly. So at that journey that I'm on, you know.
Yes. So what you have here, I'm going to put this in the chat for everybody, especially for the new people. And so don't get fooled when you see artists do it. Don't get fooled when you see entertainers, politicians, the Pope and them do it. That doesn't mean anything. It's a positive symbol. Again, it is an image that they want people to be scared of. This is tying into that esoteric that I was talking about, the inner and the ancient knowledge that we use as niggas on this planet that they don't want you to know. Now, here it is. It's called a Karana Mudra. All right. This is the name Karana Mudra. A lot of people, there's a lot of East Indian in Jamaica who are Hindu, so they might be familiar with this, but they're definitely familiar with mudras. What does Karana Mudra mean? Karana Mudra is a sacred hand gesture or a seal used during yoga and meditation practice as a means of channeling the flow of vital life force energy known as prana. We call it in Tamil Sechem. The Karana Mudra helps to dispel negativity, anxiety, fear, and depression whilst enhancing feelings of happiness and contentment. It stimulates fire and ether elements within the body, represented by the thumb and middle finger, respectively. 9 ether, 9 to the 9 power, 9 to the 9th power of 9. So remember that. Karana Mudra is a Hasta mudra, which means it is carried out with the hands. To perform this mudra, the left hand is brought up to the heart, palm facing forward. The ring and middle fingers fold in toward the center of the palm, held down gently by the tip of the thumb, and the index and little fingers point straight upward. There are no contraindications. There are no bad side effects for doing this mudra, and it should be held for a minimum of 15 minutes. Karana mudra is also known as the gesture for warding off evil. So if somebody is evil and does this, what are they trying to ward off? Agreeableness. Does everybody get what I just presented? You
Yes,
get that?
Chief. Yes, most definitely. That last sentence, our last, could you just read that one again?
Yes, the Karana mudra is also known as the gesture for warding off evil.
Right.
So here's now pictures, and here's the picture with the Pope. So I'm going to open the image in, here I have to do this. I can open the image in another tab. So this hand gesture symbolizes Karana mudra, a variation of Apana mudra of the ancient India, which made its way to various other quote-unquote cultures, Hebrew, Europe, China, etc. They are devaluing the sacred symbolism by displaying it to gamer, mockery, universality from the masses, etc. So this is the Church of Satan, Anton LaVey and company. These are other people. Let me see if they have them individually. Okay, great. So here you see Hillary Clinton. I think that's the governor of New Jersey, Bill Clinton, president of France. You see that? Barack Obama, see it?
Yes.
And so now, this is Anton LaVey, the Church of Satan, with the ram's head. And we'll go and save that for, this is, and it's when people find out they're actually worshiping niggers with that symbol, everything's changed. When I found out that's what it meant, that's not a goat. They're talking about the Kull man, the black man, as they say, the pure man. Wow, that's what, this is who the Knights Templar worship, the Negas. And then they show the benefits of Apana mudra. It detoxifies and purifies the body, and it helps indigestion. So here you have ancient technology to use to help. Yes. Yeah, 1 second, everyone. Hold on, please.
Right.
All right, so you have that, helps indigestion. And then here's Jorge. Now, they say, oh, he's in the evil, but they don't talk about the Buddha statue doing the same thing. Benefits of Karana mudra. It dispels negativity and wards off the evil eye. So you have this is the Karana, and then you have this one, which is an Apana. So you have this one to choose from, or this one to choose from. So I'll put this link here in the chat for those of you that are studious. Where we are here, Corona, and then there's another one. So here is, let me see here. So here's some Buddha statues with the Corona Mudra. There we go. See right there on Pinterest. So you see right here on the left? Oh, you gotta turn your mic on.
Yeah, I'm seeing that, Chief.
So, which came first, Buddhism or Christianity?
Without a doubt, what is it?
Buddhism.
Yes, sir.
Now, who came first? Buddhism or Tamaray?
Tamaray.
Now, they attribute this to the Buddha. That is the symbol of Amun-Re. So when they say the ram's horns, Amun-Re. Sacho might want to know that. And as you can see here, Buddha here is a nega. So this is a giant Buddha here. Let me open it in another tab. There we go. So that is nigger hair. The Chinese will act like they don't see that. That's nigger hair. There's women, African women, that can actually get their hair put in this style, but the Chinese can't do it. So how is it if the Chinese are claiming Buddha but can't put their hair like Buddha? Because Buddha was a nigger.
All right. Yeah. Solid and Irish. I think that's my question for now. But yeah, we are going. May I listen to your brethren this evening? May I listen to your brethren Ratigan? Find your bit true page there.
Yes.
I don't know if him really did listen the first out of you, but I mean, I really glad that I go forward and listen to it today, because it really shows us that something happened within that 7-day period there. Where
something happened within what?
In the 7-day period. So after you do the first out of you,
yes,
and then him set now for the follow-up the next strong.
Yes.
Between that 7-day period, them reach him. Because he was not the same individual. All of the cordialness and the positive energy that left by the rubbish bin and him getting at the AI type of energy. So
yes.
Yeah, man, I listen to it. I really listen to it today.
And you see what happened now with the FBI. They're in trouble. Alex Jones is calling an acting director as the one who, and apparently, I wish he would have showed the evidence, but apparently, I guess they have it. He was the one who ordered the stand down, which allowed the shooter to kill Trump, which makes him complicit. He was part of the inside job to kill Trump, and it didn't work. And that guy is FBI, and Ratigan is FBI. So now, when they see that, I know Ratigan can't feel good because now nobody trusts the FBI.
For real. So it's like, no, I don't know if you remember that word there where you mentioned before. I think it was on the ear still when you mentioned, say, all right, that's how I would have put it then, in all things in time. People is going to see, you for what you really is. I don't know if you remember making that remark about.
Yes.
In our own words, that is how I.
Yes, they'll see. Because I said, so you're going to break the agreement that we had? I said, this isn't what we agreed to. He never denied that. Now that's not going to happen. I said, oh, so now you're going to break the agreement in front of everybody now till the sound man left, because that means that wasn't honorable. We didn't agree to that. Now you cutting me and cutting the time. So he's an agent. He's still FBI.
Yeah. When you touch upon the parade, yeah, the Farad parade was going about 7 days ago, called the Olympics. So yeah, but I don't understand still. I never hear no one. Well, maybe the I can help. Like you know, the other Olympics, them I never hear the Christian them come out. And every Olympic there is always a ritual where a desecrate or is an attempted desecration, but them kept silent.
This one, oh yes, they did this one on X.com. I saw Christians came out in droves because Elon Musk said this is an attack on Christianity. So people said no, they did this, and then the fat one in the middle who played Jesus during their mock, what is it called? The mocking of the Last Supper.
Yeah, the Olympic Jesus.
Yeah, fat Amorite woman played Jesus. Oh, fatter than and when I say fat, she fatter than what's her name? What's that other girl? Lizzie, right?
Tatiana.
No, not Tatiana. I'm saying the woman who was playing at the opening for the Olympics in France. They had a mock of the Last Supper. So they had all these gay people, and they say, "Oh, we're trying to be inclusive." And then they had what do you call it? Like when you have they had a food tray with a cover on it. When they took the cover on, some guy dressed up. He was painted in blue, but he was naked. The one who played the Jesus role as the center was some obese, fat, Amorite, pale woman. So when people were complaining and were upset about it, she's now threatening to sue people that criticize her. This is how they get down. This is exactly how they get down. They want to silence anybody that disagrees, especially when they say this is wrong, because now people are saying children saw this. And then the IOC is still defending the boxers that failed an XY chromosome test and basically beat up women. So now people are upset about that. That just made it worse. I said, all you got to do is go to the Homosexual Manifesto. It's right there. They're not hiding what their plan is. It took from 1982, 1976 up until now. So when they do these plans, they plan 20, 25 years into the future because they know it's going to take that long for it to manifest.
Yeah.
This is how they do these things. So I'm telling people since 2007, now it's 2024, 17 years. The white power now is kicking in because you need that 10, 15, 20-year window where now black people are going to wake up and realize they're actually white. So as that's happening, the Luciferians and the black devils and all of that, they now realize people are getting hip to the language, because what did they do during COVID? They changed the definition of vaccine from which is a vaccine. The old definition was a medication used to prevent infection and spread. So when people said, no, but these shots aren't doing that, then CDC had to change the definition to a vaccine is a pharmaceutical that causes a immune response. An immune response is not the same as prevention from infection and transmission. Then the head of Pfizer even admitted on video, yeah, we already know it doesn't prevent it doesn't protect against COVID and it doesn't stop transmission. He admitted that after the fact. While it was, the vaccines are good, they help you, to protect you. What did Joe Biden? You take the shot, you're not gonna get COVID. But then, before he resigned, he turned around and said, "Oh, he got COVID. They had to fly him back to Delaware," and they said they flew Air Force One back so fast the plane was shaking. I said he was dead. So people looking at a clone because when he stepped out with his wife, he's much taller, 3 inches taller than he normally is from his wife, and while she's there with him in Washington, D.C., she's also in France for the Olympics, getting off the plane. How is she doing that at the same time? So when you see this is the reality of the world that we're living in, you can't cast your pearls to swine. You have to, everyone, you got to screen people for what is their level of intelligence. That includes your wives and your husbands and your boyfriends and your girlfriends.
Definitely.
Because whatever is going to happen in the future, you're not going to know until stuff actually goes down. And I've seen a lot of people get white and go right back to being black. Any other question?
I'll hold it at that for now. I think some other ones have some questions. I see a sister up top here. So much appreciated, Chief. Much appreciated.
Much appreciated. Seen. Quick note. Sa has, I'm going to speak this here, so I'll put it in the chat. Autochtons, stop trying to help people beyond giving them our phone number / email. You are not qualified. Your best course is to stay in order with Chief so that if someone you know needs help, you are a reputable referral. So that's an autonomous service announcement, and I'm going to add to that. Also, do not take people beyond what their mentality cannot handle. Does everybody comprehend that? Does everybody accept that? Don't take people beyond. If you want to start talking about 1 × 1 = 2 and you want to start talking about constellations and astrology says this and God says that's evil. You stop. No. They're not ready. Seek I'm going to say this again. Seek the living amongst the dead. Do not seek the dead amongst the living, because the dead will keep you dead. Andrew, go ahead.
Maku, did you hear about the deliberations that they were having in the court in Israel on whether or not the IDF can rape the prisoners? Have you heard about that?
No, but I heard that that's what happened. I was like, so I'm trying to figure out, because I just saw men there. I said, so they're raping men, the soldiers are raping men?
Yeah, they're doing the most horrible things to them. They're sticking hot, heated rods up their rectum.
Oh God!
They're putting like these things and inserting things in their rectum. They're like a hose, and they're shooting like this substance that's going into their body, and it's making them sick. They're sodomizing. They're doing all kinds of stuff. Thing is there was a number of soldiers that got arrested for that, but then after they got arrested, all these Israeli people revolted and they came to the jail trying to break those guys out because they considered them heroes.
Yep. And what's the contract that these Ashkenazim converts to Judaism are following. Deuteronomy chapter 7, verses 1 to 4. Do not make covenants with any of the, let me put it up on the screen. Let's see here. Let me just close off a couple. There we go. So now we will go here. Okay, yeah, Bible Hub.
So they're having these court deliberations where these guys are in the Israeli court system, and they're arguing with each other because one side of the power wants them to be able to rape, the other side doesn't want them to be able to rape.
Yeah, and the ones that don't want to rape are the ones that's following at Torah, and then the ones that want to are the ones that are the Zionists.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go here to, let's see here, interlinear chapter 23. Let me see if I have to do it the slow way. Okay, so the slow way, or I can just go in and put the code in here, which will be a lot faster. Good thing I know a little HTML. Okay, let's go here. So Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 1. Can you see that?
Yeah.
All right, so Deuteronomy chapter 7, casting out the nations. Okay. When brings you, they have Yahuwah, it would be, or Yahweh, it should be Yahuwah, Elohika, your, Elohika, your sustainer, they put the word God, into the land which you go there to possess, and has cast out nations many before you, the Hittite and the Girgashite and the Amorite. That's why the Jews say that white people are their enemy, and the Amorite and the Canaanite or the Canaanite and the Perizzite and the Hivite and the Jebusite, which is them, but they don't know that. Well, they know that, but they're taking on the role of us. So they're taking the script and playing a role. 7 nations greater and mightier than you, and when delivers them, Yahuwah, your Elohim, over to you, and you shall conquer them utterly, destroy them. No, you shall make with them nor covenant. Show mercy to them. Hold on. Them, no, you shall make with them covenant. No, you shall make with them covenant, nor show mercy to them. And that's period here. Nor shall you make marriages with them. Your daughter not you shall give to their son, and their daughter nor take for your son. For they will turn away your sons from following me, and to serve Elohim, beings other. So will be aroused the anger of Yahuwah against you, and destroy you suddenly. That's what they're following. The Bible is a play. It is a script. It is a contract. It is a computer program. And they're following the role, despite the fact they are not Benai Israel, Benai Yisrael, Benai Dawood, Benai none of that. They're none of that. However, under maritime law, if they keep repeating the lie and nobody challenges the lie, then it must be true. They must be God's chosen.
Wow.
Anything else?
That will do it for now, Maku.
Appreciated. Does anyone else have a question? Speak now or forever hold your peace. This has been a great open Q&A. Let me just check to make sure I didn't miss anybody's questions in the chat. Toggle button or put your question in the chat. Tatiana, Chief is helping you to shift your mindset, to shift your mind to start packing for your benefit, not the old man. They can force you out. So that's it. All right then. So since there's no more questions, I appreciate everybody being on here. The replay will be up as soon as possible. Secure parties, you will be getting your recordings, and we will be instituting some new changes with training. Oh, Kiran, go ahead. Oh, okay, all right. Y'all know what time it is. Countable. Go ahead.
Right.
Yeah,
I just got out of work a little while ago, and definitely I wanted to speak to you again more on the frequency generator. I sent you a video.
I need more. I'm real. What's happening now with a lot of technology? We need to see measurements on that. I'm hearing testimonies from people. I want to see like how the guys will bring out the voltmeters and check that if you get a piece of wood and put the piece of wood on the ground, that you can see that if you're standing in sandals, you're not grounded. When you turn around and put your feet on the ground and hold the stick, you're grounded. Plus, I've seen another guy put water in put water in like in a driveway and put his voltmeter to see that the water is actually conducting the negative ions. So now you got a lot because you get a lot of negative ions after it rains. That's a good time to go for a walk after it rains. Go walking because there's negative ions in the air after rainfall. So the frequency generator, I don't have an issue with. I just need to see more. And then the voice, like it's a computer generated voice. It looks good. I don't have an issue per se, but I need more people. Somebody who says, yes, I have that high frequency light. And what convinced me to get it was I saw the testimonies of people. I saw the testing that they did with it. See, what he should do is he should put a plate underneath that thing and put some sand on it and see if it forms perfect perfect hex squares, if it forms perfect geometric patterns. Then I can say, oh, okay, this looks good. All I'm hearing is, okay, it sounds good. Well, it's better than your cell phone or on a computer. I don't have a problem with it. But I need to see more. That's the issue. We have to demand more. Go ahead.
Yeah, I agree. No, I was just saying I agree.
Yeah, we need any new technology. We need to see testing. This is what the scientists do. They want to see the testing. They want to see the report. They want to see people who used it. We want to show people, oh, here's what happened when I used it over a period of time, over a month. If they had spots or they had bubbles on their head or whatever, and they used it and they said, oh, over 30 days, it went away. That's how you know that it's working. That's what you need, not just, here, take this thing and it'll protect you from EMF. No, I want to see a voltmeter. Let me wear the voltmeter where it was out it. Then we can say, okay, yeah, let's go with that.
Overstood. And I sent the video on Telegram. I shared it on the main page for the toxin, and I sent it to you. I found that video that the last time we was talking last week on this I don't know if he's a holistic doctor, but he was talking about frequency healing cancers. So I sent that video.
Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I sent that on the Telegram.
Is that the one who was at the like he was doing a lecture and he showed on the screen that they found the frequency for killing cancer, right?
Yeah, and he actually said the level of frequency it was, and it was a really high level too, and I never heard of that. So
let me see here. You got to reset it because I'm looking for it right now.
Let's see, Telegram. And this was a couple days ago, or just today?
Might have been yesterday or the day before. Let me see.
Because I'm seeing you sent me 2 links. Is it under the baking soda video post?
Oh, something. Hold on one sec. I might have sent it to what
Oh, you're breaking up.
Oh, let me see. Oh, I see. I'm gonna go by. Let me see. Nope, it's not this one.
Okay, so it's not these last 2 in the flyer?
No, it's not not that one. There we go. I'm gonna share it with you right now.
Is it over the WWE robots?
I just shared it right now again to you. Right.
Got it. Okay, got it. Let me play it. So yeah, that's the only issue I have with the sound healing is how did they implement it? Like, did they just play it? Did they put it on a plate? Did they put it on a microphone?
Right.
That's how did they get the frequency?
Exactly.
Okay, 100,000 hertz. Yeah, I've heard about 100,000 hertz. Because once you hit 20,000, the human ear can't hear 20,000 or anything over. There's some that can, humans that so-called, they're actually from off this planet, but outside of that, no.
Wow.
Let me hold on a second. Let me just refresh this and play it first.
Sure.
That cancer is vulnerable between the frequencies of 100,000 hertz and 300,000 hertz. So now we attack leukemia cells. Leukemia cell number 1 tries to grow a copy of itself, but the new cell is shattered into dozens of fragments and scattered across the slide. Leukemia cell number 2 then hyperinflates and also dies. Leukemia cell number 3 then tries to make another cancer cell. The new cell is shattered and the original cell dies. I now believe that the future cancer treatment rooms for children will be a very different place. It will be a pleasant place where children gather and make new friends. They probably won't even know they're sick. They'll draw pictures, color in their books, play with their toys, all the while unaware that above them are beautiful blue pinkish plasma lights emanating healing, pulsing electric fields, shattering their cancer painlessly and non-toxically, one cell at a time. Thank you.
There we go. So that's what we talking about. He said a lot. I picked up a lot there. So I'm gonna put that in the chat for everyone. Much appreciated. Countable for sharing this. So 100,000 and 300,000. So now we have to ask the next follow-up question, which is how to create a 100,000 hertz sound. Okay, and so now here we go. How to make high frequency sound generator at home. Oh, Nelly. Build your own frequency generator. Can you hear? Because you can't hear 100,000 hertz. Normal human encompasses frequencies 20 to 20,000 hertz. So how to generate high frequency? The resonant technique is the most practical way to generate a strong high frequency magnetic field. The only drawback is that it operates over a narrow frequency range near the resonance. To be able to produce an electromagnetic field over a wider frequency range, the user needs to change the capacitor multiple times. So what produces 20,000 hertz? Ultrasonic waves or ultrasound waves? So now what produces? See how we have to do these follow-up questions? Because he'll just say that, but it's like, okay, well, how is that done?
Sure, exactly. These are just like clips that I find, and I want to see the source. Where's the source? What machine is he using? Like, all of those.
Look at this. Bats emit ultrasound with a frequency of about 50,000 hertz to 100,000 hertz, and then listen for an echo or sound reflected from flying insects. So now here's the 100,000 test tone. Oh, they got a 10-minute 100,000 sine wave? Get out of here. You open that in another chat. This is on YouTube. You're not going to be able to hear this. So what you'd have to do is get your headphones to hear this. So we'll put this in the chat for all y'all that want to know. This is where it's at. Again, let's appreciate the accountable. You open the door. So it's here in the chat, 100,000 hertz, because you can't hear it. You won't be able to hear it. I just stopped it. So you will not be able to hear it. So what you'll have to do is get, what's the names? Let's see, it's got Real Player, download it. That's what I'm going to do. And let me see here. And then now I've got it.
Oh.
Generally it's 10 minutes. And so now the next thing is plasma light. Where to get plasma light. Oh, okay. Oh, there's a plasma ball. Oh, a plasma lamp. Plasma orb light. See, because these are the type of things that they'll say they're toys, and the damn thing is actually can heal you. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Yep.
So this is the type of stuff, plasma ball 6 inches. So you could look that up on. Whoa. Okay. Alberta Lighting and Decor. Yeah, so he gave the formula there, so I haven't had a chance to. I'll write it down later. So, okay, this is interesting. Tubular spinal. This is a Tesla luminous plasma sphere.
Give me one moment, Marco.
Yeah, Tua. All right, so we'll come back to you, accountable. No problem. I'm gonna just move on with some questions here. You're grabbing something to eat, right? Yeah, turn your mic on.
Yeah, Tawad.
Always a hungry man is a hungry man.
Oh, Rahuat to all of the toxins. Rahuat. All right, Tawad.
Baba Tunde.
Yeah. All right. Let me ask the first question first. The thing you read from the book about family.
Oh, H for Lucifer. Yes.
Yeah. Until I can get that book, let me just ask you if you screenshot that part where you read
about the families.
Yeah, and just send it to I, please.
Let me see. I might have it in an email already.
All right.
Let me just check here first. You all have to find on this plane, you come down, you learn what you need to learn. As you want to elevate, you got to find your spiritual family. Your physical family can't do nothing for you. Let's see. What's it? An age for Lucifer. Okay, so no. So Yeah, I remember somebody said, let's see, go to, let me check my other email. Oh, okay, that was the screenshots I sent to the screenshots that I sent to, what's the name? Okay, an age for, okay, there we go, I just saw it. Okay, these are the pages from an age for Lucifer. What I will try to do, because I know it probably won't be this 3 pages, and make sure this is the one pertaining to family. Yahweh's illusion, energy, nope. Compassion, nope. Which one is this here? Okay, this is the one for family. So I'll give you all 3 of these. How do we do this here? See if I can.
I think forward is the selected tab or method.
Say that again?
I think you click forward and you should get the option now to input the email. There you go.
Hold on, I got this. All right, so I sent that here. So you have that, and then you have 2 other pages. Which one is this pertaining to? Yes. Illusion is weakness and cowardice.
All right.
All right, so you have the email. I'm going to speak. This is interesting. Luciferians hate Yahweh's illusion with an energy that could move mountains. Illusion is weakness and cowardice. Humans have become so alien to their own true inheritance of godhood that they have allowed themselves to be programmed to actually enjoy being possessed. Such surrender means the extinction of all power possibilities. The equation is simple yet far from beyond normal wisdom. It drives Luciferians to embrace possession. They stoically accept their need to possess and devour their way up and out of the reality of the natural world. They also accept the victim's need to be victimized. Some have to win, some have to lose. Some have to be devoured, some have to be devourers. Some have to be possessed, some have to possess. It is an equation that embraces all reality, possessors and the possessed alike. But this equation is a limit to be overcome. Only true Luciferians transcend the equation. Buddha tried but failed to achieve transcendence. He only succeeded in killing his emotional life. His idea was simple: kill emotional need to kill suffering. He just didn't go far enough. He therefore became an illusion, an insult to reality. The reality is as natural as it is to be normal. It is the way of things. Luciferians accept this truth. Their will is to be the devourer, not the devoured. The possessor, not the possessed. The crucifier, not the crucifier. Not the crucified. They want to be the crucifier, not the crucified. They accept reality as it is and only wish to take full advantage of it so that they can transcend its control. If victims passionately desire their own possession, then Luciferians will be the willing agents to exploit this weakness. There you go, for those of y'all about that love stuff again. All right?
All right. So just the final thing here for this evening. The thing that the brother mentioned about healing with sound. So, I have always said I don't know a lot. I know a very small portion of things. So Dr. Sabi did show us a way to heal all disease. Is this new way now showing that you will still eat the thing that caused the sickness, and then they are now saying it can be healed while you're on this bad food? Is that what they're putting forward now?
They're talking about healing, but as you know, once the person is healed, you should not go back to eating the bad food. And see, this is where land comes into play, because they're talking about putting nanoparticles, they're putting the vaccine in the meat. I'm talking the jab. They're talking about spraying the planet with the jab. They put in, Bill Gates released some mosquitoes, and what did they do? Release them over some Negroes in Florida at a picnic, and had a plane come over, or a drone come over, and release them over the picnic, going after who? The black people again. See, if you accept the contract of black, this is the consequence of it. This is why I like this book in Age for Lucifer, because he said the Luciferians don't put themselves under any delusions. If a person won't feel sorry for me, yes, they're going to eat them. They want to be a victim, they're going to eat them. So when you hear Chris Rock say, I'm not going to be a victim, people are like, yeah, he ain't going to be a victim. No, read in between that. If you're a victim, then that's when the Luciferians come, because those people are dealing with shape-shifting reptilians in the entertainment industry. When Eddie Griffin said, why does everybody got to go through London before they could go to Antarctica or anywhere through the world? They got to go through London. If they're going to Europe, they got to go through London. He said, because the reptilians that are there require that you go through London. You just heard the police say that the Rothschilds are in London. They have a seat for the devil. They don't go no place. Here you go. This is an Amorite saying this, when people who are copper-colored, carbon, dark skin was saying it. Oh, they didn't want to believe it. Now he's saying it. He's like right straight up into that. This is what we're dealing with. So we can only, based on who asks the question, everybody gets the answer. First you have to get white, because now that means you understand language, where you can take language, change the syntax that they programmed it with you for an advantage to them, and turn it to your benefit. That's why you can't get a lot of people down in Jamaica to hear what you're saying. It's only a small amount. Please don't feel away, because there's only one so-called African Canadian that's on the webinar. All the rest of them, they ain't ready. I know they ain't ready. So I'm not even bothering with them. The majority is south of the 49. All this education and fine talking and articulation means nothing. Because when that reality of, yes, first we're going to deal with your contracts. Once we get that dealt with, we dealt with you claim your indigenousness. Once you get done with that, then you start dealing with the commercial aspect of not lost at sea. As the soul, which is the true self, you have the ability to transmutate. But if you think your body, your skin is the be-all, the end-all, that's it, then you're in trouble. Then then we get past that, then we start dealing with the Greys, the Luciferians, the Satanists. We start dealing with the magic. We start dealing with the Heka, then we start dealing with the higher levels. Now when you talk about the sound frequency, yeah, that's the heal. But if the person's gonna go back after they've been healed, and that's happened when people lost a whole bunch of weight, what did they do? They went back and started eating bad food, got sick again. People who have diabetes, they tell them stop eating sugar. There's a cure for it, but they still stop eating sugar. The sugar is the killer. Sugar and iodized salt, those are the two biggest killers out there. And I can't forget about the high fructose corn syrup. So how is a person going to maintain or get to that elevated state for their body if they're living in a concrete jungle and aren't even trying to grow food?
they're in trouble. So for the people who in the Caribbean, who they could just walk over and pick some mango and some coconut over here, y'all are rich.
Fully rich. Really rich.
Rich.
Really rich. All right, Chief. Much appreciated. Another excellent session. So we're also glad to have another Jamaican on. We trust that she will go through with the full process.
Yes, she's the one that controls that. That's on her. All right, much appreciated. I'm glad she's on so she can hear straight from the source. All right, Kashukadur.
White power.
White power. Keon, go ahead, Keon.
Yes, Chief. While we talk about frequency, the Tibetan singing bowls.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
At one time, I think I heard you played one of those in your videos maybe some years ago. I don't know. I can't remember which one. And it had a specific frequency you talk about. So,
They have them that are in crystal. They have the bowls that are in crystal. I've also seen crystal pyramids. Remember when, if you watch the old cowboy movies, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Remember the old cowboy movies and the woman would come out and she'd have the thing and go dig-a-dig-a-dig,
Yeah.
All that is old ancient technology that we don't use. That they deliberately don't talk about that. See, when you start listening to 428 hertz, for us it's 418 hertz. And again, gratitude to Bobby Hemmett, because he was working with some black people who said the frequency that we need for our carbon, which they call melanin, is 418 hertz. 418 hertz and 432 hertz, and they do the frequencies work. And how do I know this? Because I was playing the sun frequency, which is 126.22 hertz on my headphones, and I said, why am I feeling hot? And I said, oh shoot, I'm playing the frequency of the sun. I said, okay, let me take this off.
Well, there's some more the 440 hertz. Some of them I keep hearing more than.
No, that's destructive.
So it's 418 and 432.
418, 432, 528 hertz.
528.
And get the tone. Do not get where they play this extra music and stuff in the background. You just want the complete pure tone.
Okay. Because sometimes you see it like on YouTube with the different frequency, but I don't really trust some of those videos with them they're playing.
You gotta get the ones that say tone. They will say, if you say 528 hertz music, they're gonna have the tone with some music mixed into it. You want the pure, unadulterated tone. That's what you want. Hold on a second here. Ankit, I'm gonna answer your question 1 second. So make sure you get Real Player, because once you download Real Player, once you get Real Player, you can download the videos. You can download the video, or you can download, say you just want audio only and put it on your phone. Make sure, my suggestion is, when you do that, see 518 tone. You want the tone, that's all you want. You don't want no music, you don't want nothing else. 518 hertz. Make sure, if you're gonna listen to it on your phone, that's why I have an old phone that I have the tones on, so I can listen to it, and it's not connected to the internet, it's not connected to the Wi-Fi. So if you're gonna do that, they've changed. I know some of y'all have some probably newer phones where if you try to put your phone on airplane mode and play your videos, it'll want to hook up to YouTube, then you can't play it. And some of them you can. So those of you that have those phones, some of you can, some of you can't.
So if you have a phone where you have to leave the you take off the Bluetooth and take off the Wi-Fi, and if you can't play your audio without the Wi-Fi being on, then you need to, if you have an old phone, transfer those audio files to the old phone and use that old phone specifically for listening to the tones without it being connected to no internet or anything.
Okay.
So this is the 518 hertz.
Most guys' t-shirts have this one weird gap that makes their arms look weak. That's because your average polyester shirts are purposefully baggy on the arms.
See, don't wear polyester shirts. Hold on. I'm glad they did that. Another thing, cotton, linen, hemp, bamboo. If you get polyester, then try and keep it at least 20% and under.
Okay.
This is 418.
418.
I'm putting it in the chat. It's better to use headphones. Don't use the earbuds. I'm talking headphones, real headphones.
Yeah. Like the DJs.
Yep, just like what the DJs use. Let's see, 14. Okay, I gotta go back here.
Okay.
And you can see here on the right, I got 528 hertz. So you want tone. This is 528. That's for repairing DNA, creating miracles, and they say to do about 10 minutes. You can do 10 minutes 2 times a day. And be stationary. Do not try to be doing multiple things, traveling. No, you want to be stationary so you can fully absorb and concentrate on that. Understood?
Overstood.
All right. Fabulous.
All right.
Let's see. I think. Ankit. You wanted the one for the family. Hold on a second, Ankit. So check your email. Just give me 1 second here. I'll send it to you. What is going on here? Okay, sent. Well, what happened? I just sent the. Okay, let me check on my big Kenneth. I just sent it to Baba Tunde, so why is it not showing up here? Okay, there we go. So there. All right, so I'm going to send this to you. You have it now. So just because you share the same DNA with family does not mean you all are the same. Okay. Right, so you have it on, please confirm. And so, please confirm that you received it on kit. So I don't want to go off and then you say it didn't come. So now you see this? This is Moon out in California, Califia. This is what I'm talking about. That's the hairstyle the Buddha has. Chinese don't do their hairstyle like that. So they know who their nigger family is, their nigger mother and nigger father. Can't get away from niggers. Niggers is a beautiful thing. Tawat Ankit. And with that, this is open Q&A. Kashikadur, everyone. Appreciate everyone for being on here. And we will see you all in 30 days on the Gregorian calendar for September's. And that will be September 7th. So September 7th is the next open Q&A. Feel free to share all the videos, my links. Make sure everyone is subscribed to my YouTube channel. And if you're not on the webinar, you better get on the webinar because you better get white. Kashukador, everyone. Kashukador. Kashukador. Power, white power, white power, white power.